Chapter 48. June Linglong frowned slightly and looked over with her beautiful eyes. She was the daughter of the June family, after all. Although she wasn't as famous as June Xiaoyao and the 10 sequences, she still had some reputation. There weren't many people who dared to go against her. The young figure shrouded in black fog was June Wanjia's follower, the genius of the Black Cloud tribe. "Hey Tuesday, you're from the Black Cloud tribe?" June Linglong frowned. She had Linglong's heart and was knowledgeable. She recognized He Tu as a member of the Black Cloud tribe at a glance. However, she didn't know that He Tu was June Wanjia's follower. After all, June Linglong didn't pay attention to June Wanjia. "I want this tranquil spirit tea. Do you have a problem with that?" He Tu looked at June Linglong provocatively. June Linglong's eyes shone. She could tell that this wasn't a coincidence. This genius of the Black Cloud tribe was the one who provoked her. "Do you know who I am?" June Linglong said calmly, looking noble and arrogant. Only in front of June Xiaoyao would she behave like an obedient servant girl. In front of everyone else, she was the daughter of the June family. "In any case, I'm a follower of Master Thousand Calamity. How can I not know noble Lady Linglong's name?" He Tu indifferently curled his lips and smiled. "I see." June Linglong immediately understood after hearing what he said. No wonder this genius of the Black Cloud tribe was so fearless and even dared to provoke her. It turned out that the Sequence 5, June Wanjia, was standing behind him. It seemed that He Tu didn't need to be afraid of her. "This tea is what Lord Son of God wants. How dare you stop him?" June Linglong said coldly. "Sorry, my lord also wants to drink this tea. Also, don't use Son of God as a shield. My lord is not weaker than him." He Tu said coldly. At this moment, a sword light suddenly shot towards He Tu from afar. At the same time, a cold, scolding voice was heard. "Where did this blind thing come from? Let me teach you a lesson on behalf of June Wanjia." He Tu's expression changed when he sensed the fluctuation of the sword light. His body suddenly vaporized and turned into a cloud of black mist. The sword light pierced through the black fog and landed on the ground behind it. He Tu condensed again, but his face was pale. Vaporizing into mist was the innate ability of the Black Cloud race. However, every time it was used, it consumed a lot of magic power. Not far away, a figure holding a sword in his arms appeared. It was the 10th sequence, June Zhangjian. He had previously wanted to become June Xiaoyao's follower, but had been rejected by June Xiaoyao. It was indeed inappropriate for an echelon cultivator to become a follower. Although he had been rejected by June Xiaoyao, June Zhangjian was already prepared to be a follower. It was just that he did not have the title. 10th sequence, June Zhangjian, why are you? He Tu's face was pale, and there was fear in his eyes. If it was just June Linglong, he would not be afraid. Although June Linglong was a noble lady, she had not reached the level of one of the 10 echelon cultivators. June Zhangjian, on the other hand, was a genuine echelon cultivator. Although his status and strength were not as high as his master, June Wanjia. However, an echelon cultivator was an echelon cultivator. He could not be humiliated. He Tu was also full of doubts. Why did June Zhangjian feel like he was June Xiaoyao's follower? Who gave you the courage to provoke the people around the Son of God? Was it June Wanjia? June Zhangjian scolded coldly. He Tu's face turned pale. He was still a little afraid when facing June Zhangjian. At this moment, a voice that was as cold as ice sounded in the distance. "June Zhangjian, you are one of the echelon cultivators, but you are willing to become June Xiaoyao's follower. What charm does he have that you are willing to submit to him?" When he heard this voice, June Zhangjian's expression changed slightly. It was June Wanjia's voice. As expected, a figure wrapped in lightning divine radiance descended from the sky. It was June Wanjia. His black hair fluttered in the wind, and lightning runes appeared all over his body, making him look like a god of thunder. Is that June Wanjia, the 5th sequence of the June family? What's going on? Is there going to be a conflict? That seems to be June Zhangjian, the 10th sequence of the June family, and Linglong. The supreme treasure of Yuan Tian hasn't been opened yet, and the June family is going to fight among themselves? Many people were attracted to the scene. "June Wanjia, what are you doing?" Seeing Jun Wanjia's explosive aura, Jun Zhangjin frowned. Jun Wanjia's temper was famous for being tyrannical. He had even taught many members of the Jun family a lesson, let alone outsiders. I can't believe that a sequence of the Jun family has become a follower. If you really want to do this, then you should give up your identity as a sequence of the Jun family as soon as possible. After saying that, Jun Wanjia directly attacked. As he raised his hand, the divine light of thunder appeared. He cultivated the supreme technique, the heavenly method of surviving calamities, and awakened the Thunder Calamity battle body. Among the 3,000 physiques, it ranked in the top 300. Moreover, this Thunder Calamity battle body was extremely powerful and lethal, far surpassing Yi Xingyun's kingly body of stars. Rumble. Jun Wanjia pushed out his palm, and the rolling thunder seemed to turn into a torrent, crashing down on Jun Zhangjin and Jun Linglong. Oh no! Jun Zhangjin hurriedly drew his sword, and the dazzling sword light spread out. Jun Linglong made a move as well. However, even if the two of them attacked at the same time, it was still difficult to block Jun Wanjia's attack. A loud rumble was heard. Both Jun Zhangjin and Jun Linglong were shaken, and they took several steps back. Jun Zhangjin was fine. After all, he was a sequence 10. Although he was not as strong as Jun Wanjia, the gap was not too big. Jun Linglong, on the other hand, was slightly weaker. She retreated dozens of steps, and her flawless snow-white face was a little pale. There was a faint trace of blood at the corner of her lips. Jun Wanjia glanced at them and said indifferently, "Today is a warning. Tell Jun Xiaoyao to keep a low profile in the future." After saying that, Jun Wanjia turned around and left. No matter what, Jun Zhangjin and Jun Linglong were both members of the Jun family. It was enough to teach them a lesson and suppress Jun Xiaoyao's arrogance. Jun Wanjia did not intend to seriously injure them. Master strength is indeed the best in the world. Seeing Jun Wanjia defeat Jun Zhangjin and Jun Linglong with a raise of his hand, He Tu's eyes were full of admiration. He turned to look at Jun Linglong, and the corners of his mouth curled into a playful smile. "Tell your master that my master is the pillar and hope of the younger generation of the Jun family." After saying that, He Tu followed Jun Wanjia and left. At this time, Jun Linglong spat out another small mouthful of blood. "You're badly injured," Jun Zhangjin said with a hint of helplessness in his tone. Compared to Jun Wanjia, he was indeed inferior. "It's okay. I still have to buy tea for the young master." Jun Linglong did not forget about her own matter and bought some mind-calming spirit tea for Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Zhangjin sighed slightly as he watched. Even at this time, she was still thinking about Jun Xiaoyao. However, Jun Zhangjin also knew that Jun Xiaoyao was not someone who would swallow his anger. Since Jun Wanjia had offended the people around Jun Wanjia, he would not have a good ending. The whole book. Chapter 49. Not long after, Jun Linglong and Jun Zhangjin returned to where Jun Xiaoyao was. "Young master, I bought the tranquil spirit tea." Jun Linglong's slightly pale face revealed a smile. Okay." Jun Xiaoyao had just nodded when he noticed the abnormalities of Jun Linglong and Jun Zhangjin. He frowned slightly, got up, and walked to Jun Linglong. "Young master?" Jun Linglong's expression froze, and she looked a little uneasy. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand and gently wiped away the faint trace of blood at the corner of Jun Linglong's lips. Such an intimate act made Jun Linglong blush all of a sudden. "What's going on?" Jun Xiaoyao asked indifferently. He wasn't all that fond of Jun Linglong after all. At least, Jun Linglong was someone by his side. Attacking Jun Linglong was a provocation to him. "I'm sorry, son of God. I couldn't stop Jun Wanjia," Jun Zhangjin said apologetically. "Speak clearly," Jun Xiaoyao said. Then, Jun Zhangjin told Jun Xiaoyao everything that had happened. "You're already injured, and you still want to buy me tea. Are you stupid?" Jun Xiaoyao shook his head slightly. "If young master wants to drink, Linglong will naturally buy it." Jun Linglong felt as sweet as honey when she heard Jun Xiaoyao's words, which seemed to contain a hint of indulgence. "Let's go." Jun Xiaoyao flung his sleeves, and said with his hands behind his back, "Where to?" Jun Zhangjian asked instinctively. "Of course to find Jun Wanjie," Jun Xiaoyao said with a smile. However, there was a hint of coldness in that smile. Revenge is a dish best served cold. What do you mean by the Jun family? The bigger picture is the most important thing. Revenge could not be delayed overnight. Since Jun Wanjie had taken the initiative to provoke him, Jun Xiaoyao did not need to give him any face. On the other side, at Jun Wanjie's place, He Tu revealed a look of unwillingness as he said, "My lord, since you are so powerful, why don't you go and suppress Jun Xiaoyao directly?" When he saw Jun Wanjie's domineering attack, He Tu's heart was filled with admiration. At the same time, he also believed that Jun Wanjie could definitely defeat Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Wanjie shook his head slightly and said, "First of all, Jun Xiaoyao has the sacred body of the ancients and the bones of supremacy. He is not weak at all. If I didn't have the advantage of age and cultivation, I might not have been able to deal with him. Secondly, the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian is about to be opened. If I have an internal conflict with Jun Xiaoyao, it will affect my condition. I might even be blamed by the elders." It had to be said that Jun Wanjie had risen from the bottom of the collateral family. He was not stupid. On the contrary, he was very shrewd. Previously, he only made a move to suppress Jun Zhangjian and Jun Linglong. He wanted to slightly suppress Jun Xiaoyao's limelight. It could be said that he stopped when it was appropriate. This way, the effect would be effective. He would not be blamed by the elders, and it would not affect his participation in the fight for the secret treasure. "My lord, you are indeed a strategist. I didn't think of this at all." He Tu could not help but be even more impressed. "Also, I can guarantee that Jun Xiaoyao will hold back for the time being. He will at least wait until the matter of the secret treasure is over before he dares to make a move on me." Jun Wanjie's lips curled into a cold smile. However, just as he finished speaking, there was a sudden vibration outside the pavilion where he was. "What's going on?" Just as Jun Wanjie was in a daze, a seal fell from the sky like a falling meteor. "It's the seal of the human ruler." Jun Wanjie's expression changed abruptly, and he hurriedly dodged. He Tu's face was also pale. He turned into a wisp of black smoke and rushed out. Boom! The sky and the floor shook. The pavilion where Jun Wanjie lived was directly reduced to nothingness. A huge, deep pit appeared where it used to be, and thick cracks spread around it. Such a commotion could be said to have attracted the attention of countless people around. What's going on? Did someone make a move? It seems that something happened to the sequence 5 of the Jun family. Heavens, someone actually razed Jun Wanjie's residence to the ground? The entire Nantian city was in an uproar. One had to know that that was the residence of the sequence 5 of the Jun family. Not to mention razing it to the ground. Even passing by on a normal day would have to be very careful. Look, that is that the son of God of the Jun family. A cultivator raised his head and suddenly pointed to the sky. Above the dome of the sky, for figures stood. Jun Linglong, Jun Xiaohuang, and Jun Zhangjian stood at the back. Jun Xiaoyao was at the forefront. One of his hands was behind his back, while the other hand was in a posture where he had just released the seal. It was obvious that he was the one who released the man-ruler's seal. "Jun! Xiao! Yao!" A cold shout spread out along with billions of lightning bolts. With a loud bang, a figure surrounded by lightning bolts soared into the sky. It was Jun Wanjie. His gaze was fixed on Jun Xiaoyao. It was as if there were two pools of lightning rolling in his eyes. Lightning flashed endlessly. He did not expect Jun Xiaoyao to be so decisive. He had just said that Jun Xiaoyao would definitely not make a move on him before the secret treasure was over. In the next moment, he was immediately slapped in the face. Beside him, He Tu also revealed himself. His eyes were filled with fear as he looked at Jun Xiaoyao. He had only heard of Jun Xiaoyao's name before, but he had never seen him in person. This was his first time seeing him. However, he definitely had a deep impression of him. After all, their residences were reduced to nothingness by Jun Xiaoyao's attack. Jun Xiaoyao, what is the meaning of this? Jun Wanjie suppressed the anger in his heart and said coldly, Who gave you the guts to touch the son of God's people? Jun Xiaoyao's tone was indifferent, but it did not lose its dominance. Jun Linglong's heart was beating nonstop. Many female cultivators who were paying attention were also overwhelmed with emotions. They wanted nothing more than to replace Jun Linglong's position. I only punished them a little. I didn't really do anything to them. Is the son of God so petty? Jun Wanjia's tone was extremely cold. Yes, you're right. I am indeed petty. If that's the case, Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly and looked at He Tuesday. He Tu's heart instantly sank to the bottom of an ice cave. You're the one who started it, right? It's fine to kill a brainless follower like you. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand as soon as he finished speaking. Majestic golden dermic powers erupted like a volcano and intertwined to form a giant golden rune hand. He grabbed with his hand, and it was as if the 5-finger mountains were descending. No, how is this possible? He Tu was so shocked that his soul almost left his body. This was his first time facing Jun Xiaoyao. Naturally, he did not know that Jun Xiaoyao's power had reached such a level. It was as if he was facing a young arch. Enough, stop. Jun Wanjie raised his hand as well. Divine lightning intertwined and formed a giant lightning hand, trying to stop Jun Xiaoyao. The son of God wants to kill. Can you stop me? Jun Xiaoyao shook his head and sighed. He reached out with his other hand. Dragon Chi erupted and turned into a golden dragon claw that collided with Jun Wanjie's move. It was the severing dragon hand that he had refined from Long Haoyan's dragon essence. On the other side, Jun Xiaoyao continued to suppress He Tuesday. He Tu gritted his teeth and used the unique technique of the Black Cloud tribe again, turning his chi into mist. The giant golden rune hand dispersed the black mist, but could not kill him. Ha, what's sequence 0? You can't even kill me. How are you going to compete with the Lord? He Tu's figure condensed again. His face was pale, and he still had lingering fear. However, he was relieved. It seemed that Jun Xiaoyao could not do anything to him for the time being. Are you really brainless? Jun Xiaoyao tilted his head slightly, as if he was looking at Clown. He raised his hand again and activated the divine elephant overpowering force. The pitch-black hellfire crucible pressed down from the sky like a furnace that could refine gods and devils. It erupted with endless suction force. No, what is this? He Tu was so scared that his soul almost left his body. He hurriedly used Qi into mist again. However, all the black mist was instantly absorbed and refined by the hellfire crucible. He Tu's shrill scream came from within. After a while, the screams suddenly stopped. The complete book. Chapter 50. The world fell into a dead silence. Looking at He Tu, who was killed in 2 moves, all the cultivators around Nantian City secretly swallowed a mouthful of saliva. He Tu was a sky pride of the Black Cloud tribe. Not only was he not weak, but he was also very strong. His strength was even comparable to the sky prides of some of the major sects and orthodoxies. Otherwise, he wouldn't have become Jun Wanjie's follower. Now, Jun Xiaoyao killed a sky pride effortlessly with a flip of his hand. All of the cultivators who saw Jun Xiaoyao in action for the first time were shocked by what they saw. The son of God of the Jun family, Sequence 0, lived up to his name. Jun Xiaoyao. A furious roar exploded like a sudden clap of thunder. It was Jun Wanjie. He was so angry that his hair stood on end. Lightning shot out from his eyes, showing that he was extremely angry. His own follower was killed in front of him. This was a slap in the face. Moreover, it was a merciless slap. Boom. Jun Wanjie didn't say anything else. He couldn't take it anymore. He would talk about the consequences later. Right now, Jun Wanjie only wanted to suppress Jun Xiaoyao. He slapped out with one hand. Terrifying lightning poured out and turned into tens of thousands of lightning bolts. The energy waves were so powerful that it was terrifying. This was a powerful lightning-type martial art, the 8 Baron Thunderpalm. With Jun Wanjie's Thunder Calamity battle body, any sky pride of the Celestial Bridge realm would be injured or killed with a single slap. Son of God, be careful. Jun Zhangjin couldn't help but remind him. Although he knew that Jun Xiaoyao was very strong, Jun Wanjie wasn't weak either. Previously, he and Jun Linglong couldn't block Jun Wanjia's move. However, as soon as Jun Zhangjian said that, he choked, and his pupils slowly widened. Jun Xiaoyao clenched his fist and punched out lightly. There wasn't the slightest bit of smoke or fire, but it seemed to erupt with the roar of a dragon. The shadow of a true dragon coiled around the tip of his fist and exploded with a bang. It was Zulong's supernatural power, Dragon Fist. At the same time, the 70,000 granules of the mammoth within his body, augmented by 300 million kilograms of divine power, poured out in torrents along with this punch. When the two powers overlapped, the ripples seemed to be able to push through the heavens for 100,000 miles. Rumble. Terrifying mana ripples spread out like a small nuclear bomb exploding. The entire Nantian city seemed to tremble. Under everyone's gazes, a figure flew out from the center of the collision like a kite with its string cut. Blood splattered all over the sky. It was Jun Wanjia. His figure flew backward, and the arm that he used to punch was twisted in a strange way. It was obvious that his bones were broken. His face was pale as he looked at Jun Xiaoyao with shock that he had never felt before. There were many things that one wouldn't be able to understand if they didn't experience it personally and only watch from the sidelines. Jun Wanjia finally understood the despair that Yi Xingyun and Long Haoyan felt back then. It was as if he wasn't facing a person at all. He was facing a young great emperor. Jun Xiaoyao, your strength. Jun Wanjia stopped himself from retreating, and his pupils trembled slightly. Not only him, but the entire Nantian city was stunned. Jun Zhangjian was completely dumbfounded. He knew that Jun Xiaoyao wasn't afraid of Jun Wanjia, but he didn't expect him to be so overwhelming. Lord Son of God is truly invincible, Jun Xuehuang exclaimed. Master! Jun Linglong's beautiful eyes were filled with admiration and admiration. This was her master, invincible in this world. I don't believe it. Again, no matter what, Jun Wanjia had risen from the bottom after all. He was more determined than people like Yi Xingyun. He obviously wouldn't admit defeat just like that. Jun Wanjia's body was surrounded by lightning. His broken bones made crackling sounds, and then his arm was restored. As expected of the Thunder Calamity Combat Constitution, it said that this kind of constitution can be tempered by the heavenly tribulation and make the body unbelievably strong. Seeing Jun Wanjia's restored arm, many cultivators' eyes flickered. The Thunder Calamity Combat Constitution was ranked in the top 300 among the 3,000 constitutions. It was extraordinary. So what if his body is strong? It was still shattered by the Son of God of the Jun family with one punch. It can only be said that compared to the sacred body of the ancients, the Thunder Calamity Combat Constitution is trash. Many female cultivators curled their lips and said disdainfully. At this moment, they had already become Jun Xiaoyao's die-hard fans. How many young geniuses in the Huangtian mystic realm who were as good-looking and strong as him? At this moment, Jun Wanjia stood in the sky, surrounded by lightning. There was no longer a trace of contempt in his eyes when he looked at Jun Xiaoyao. I cultivate the supreme method and have the Thunder Calamity Combat Constitution. I will punish on behalf of the heavens and control thousands of thunder calamities. 8 Thunder's Prohibition, Desolate Thunder God. Jun Wanjia roared into the sky. Hundreds of millions of lightning bolts burst out and intertwined in the void. Black tribulation clouds rolled, as if a thunder god was manifesting. Such a scene was shocking. Punish on behalf of the heavens? Ridiculous. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm. Even the heavens have to bow before the Son of God, let alone you. Jun Xiaoyao's black hair fluttered in the wind. His cold words were boundlessly domineering. He activated the golden spirit sea of the sacred body of the ancients. Vigorous mana burst out and vaguely condensed into a golden divine elephant that suppressed time and space. The divine elephant overpowering force was activated to the extreme. At the same time, his left hand conjured the combatant formula. Sabers, spears, swords, halberds, axes, battle axes, hooks, and tridents. Thousands of divine weapons condensed from the void with a murderous sound that shook heaven and earth. His right hand, on the other hand, conjured a lifelike true dragon shadow with dragon chi. It was Zulong's Abijna that he refined from the dragon essence, the true dragon heaven imprisonment technique. The two moves were executed together. The true dragon shadow burst into the sky and crashed into the thunder god in the black tribulation clouds. The collision of the two caused the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. Thousands of divine weapons rushed toward Jun Wanjie. How could? Jun Wanjie was hit before he could react. Even though he defended with all his might, he was still severely impacted. He couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood as his bones and tendons were broken. Jun Xiaoyao summoned the devil's wings and flew through the void at extreme speed. In an instant, he landed above Jun Wanjie. Augmented with divine power, his foot landed like the foot of a god king. Boom! A scalp-numbing sound was heard. His foot landed directly on Jun Wanjie's chest. The two of them fell like meteors, accompanied by a rumbling sound. Jun Wanjie's body hit the ground heavily. Jun Xiaoyao's foot was still on Jun Wanjie's chest with one hand behind his back. His sleeves fluttered in the wind, untainted by a speck of dust. This kind of contrast was too great, giving people a kind of unreal feeling. The Sequence 5 of the Jun family was currently being stepped on by Jun Xiaoyao, unable to move. Was Jun Wanjie weak? Absolutely not. Everyone saw Jun Wanjie's power just now. Then, there was only one result left. Jun Xiaoyao was too strong. Many people could see that Jun Xiaoyao hadn't used all his strength at all. He hadn't even used the supremacy bone or the sacred body. Jun Xiaoyao, let go of your foot. Jun Wanjie's face turned red as he shouted angrily, unable to remain calm. Boom! When Jun Xiaoyao heard this, he stomped heavily on Jun Wanjie again, causing blood to gush out of his mouth and his sternum to shatter. Why don't you just be a Sequence 5 obediently? Why are you so blind? Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. I haven't lost yet. As long as you give me time. Jun Wanjie's expression was ferocious as he roared indignantly. I'm not interested in a loser. Even if I give you 100,000 years, you can only look at my back in vain until you can't see me anymore. Jun Xiaoyao's words were murderous. Jun Wanjie's face turned red and blue. He spat out a mouthful of blood again. He was so angry that his Taoist heart was about to collapse. The whole book. Chapter 51. He was trampled on in front of all the cultivators in Nantian City. If it was anyone else, they would have collapsed, let alone someone as proud and arrogant as Jun Wanjie. Coupled with Jun Xiaoyao's words, Jun Wanjie felt that his mind was collapsing inch by inch. He had gone through countless difficulties and obstacles to climb to his current position. In the end, he was kicked down by Jun Xiaoyao again. One could only imagine how he felt. Jun Xiaoyao, you. Jun Wanjie was trembling all over. He was about to explode. The supreme technique you have, the heavenly technique of overcoming calamities, is useful to me. As Jun Xiaoyao spoke, he directly searched Jun Wanjie's body for the jade scroll that was branded with the heavenly technique of overcoming calamities. Jun Xiaoyao did not lack supreme techniques, but the heavenly technique of overcoming calamities was related to the heavenly tribulation. He still had to go through the tribulation of the sacred body of the ancients in the future. Having the heavenly technique of overcoming calamities as a reference would be of some help to him. Watching Jun Xiaoyao take away the heavenly skill of overcoming calamities, Jun Wanjie felt his blood boil in his chest, yet there was nothing he could do but watch. You're not convinced, are you? Let me think about it. If I kill you directly, will the family punish me? Jun Xiaoyao lowered his eyes slightly and looked at Jun Wanjie indifferently. His cold words made Jun Wanjie's face, which was originally filled with indignation and anger, freeze in an instant. Jun Xiaoyao wanted to kill him. Moreover, Jun Wanjie thought about it carefully. With Jun Xiaoyao's current status in the Jun family, what would happen if he killed him? The answer was, nothing would happen at all. Jun Xiaoyao's current status was far from what he, as Sequence 5, could compare to. If Jun Xiaoyao killed him, The Jun family would at most give him a warning on the surface. There would not even be any substantial punishment. Jun Wanjie felt cold all over at the thought of this result. Jun Xiaoyao would not be punished for killing him. However, he would lose his life for nothing. As if seeing the panic in Jun Wanjie's eyes, Jun Xiaoyao's lips curved into a faint smile. In this world, how many people were not afraid of death? But to be honest, Jun Xiaoyao wasn't willing to kill Jun Wanjie if it wasn't necessary. It wasn't that he was soft-hearted. However, as the son of God of the Jun family in Sequence Zero, killing a Sequence Zero would have a bad impact on the family. At the very least, the elders of the other branches of the Jun family and the other sequences might have some opinions about him. Jun Xiaoyao was not afraid of trouble, but he was too lazy to deal with it. However, Jun Xiaoyao would not allow Jun Wanjie to leave and leave behind hidden dangers. Therefore, the only viable solution was, now, I'll give you two choices. Submit to me and plant a slave imprint on you, or die. Jun Xiaoyao gave Jun Wanjie a choice. Jun Wanjie's face instantly turned pale as he gritted his teeth. He knew that even if he died here today, no one would avenge him. However, if he submitted to Jun Xiaoyao, his Dao heart would completely collapse, and he would only become Jun Xiaoyao's slave in the future. My patience is limited. I'll only give you 3 breaths of time. Jun Xiaoyao frowned. Jun Wanjie's body trembled violently. He got up with difficulty and then knelt down. He didn't want to die, because there was still an obsession in his heart that had not been completed. Oh, what a surprise! Seeing Jun Wanjie kneeling in front of him, Jun Xiaoyao was slightly surprised. He had thought that with Jun Wanjie's personality, he would rather die than submit. Jun Wanjie is willing to submit to young master. He spat out the words with difficulty. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. In the divine palace in his mind, a soul slave seal was formed. Jun Wanjie's divine palace was in an open state and was directly implanted with a slave seal. With this, Jun Xiaoyao could control Jun Wanjie's life and death without worrying about any hidden dangers. Of course, this kind of slave seal had to be voluntary. Otherwise, it would be difficult to forcibly implant it. Your choice surprised the son of God. Jun Xiaoyao looked Jun Wanjie straight in the eyes. Jun Wanjie's face showed a trace of disappointment, but in the end he sighed and said, "Young master, I have a biological sister. She was placed in the lower realm when she was young. I swore that I would bring her back to the immortal domain, so I can't die." Jun Wanjie's words made Jun Xiaoyao raise his eyebrows slightly. So this was the plan. He was separated from his biological sister when he was young and then worked hard to become stronger to find his sister. Jun Xiaoyao knew that the entire world was divided into 9 heavens and 10 earths. The 9 heavens referred to the 9 heavens immortal domain. The Huangtian immortal domain was one of the 9 heavens immortal domains. The 10 earths referred to the 10 vast continents in the lower realm. Generally speaking, the boundary between the 9 heavens and 10 earths was very difficult to break. If one wanted to send a person to the lower realm, they would have to pay a huge price. Moreover, there was a limit to their cultivation level. It was no wonder that Jun Wanjie wanted to cultivate to become stronger and then climb to a higher level. It turned out that he wanted to go to the lower realm to find his sister. Let's talk about this later. If this son of God has the chance to go to the lower realm, it's not impossible to bring your sister back. Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. Since Jun Wanjie was already his slave, he was no longer a threat to him. Why not give him a sweet date? Jun Wanjie's originally disappointed face immediately froze when he heard this. Then, a trace of excitement appeared. The resentment in his heart before melted at this moment. There was nothing more important than reuniting him with his sister. Thank you, young master. I was blind before and overestimated myself. Jun Wanjie kowtowed heavily to Jun Xiaoyao. Just now, he had reluctantly submitted because of the pressure of life and death. Now, however, he was truly and wholeheartedly submitting to Jun Xiaoyao. Seeing this scene, Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang looked at each other and took a deep breath. Jun Wanjie, the thorn in the 10 sequences, who had the most rebellious and domineering personality, was subdued just like that. Young master, both your strength and wisdom are amazing, Jun Linglong also exclaimed. Although she had the 7 orifices Linglong's heart, she always felt that it was not enough in front of Jun Xiaoyao. A conflict within the Jun family was resolved just like that. Jun Wanjie, the 5th sequence, had completely submitted to Jun Xiaoyao, together with Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang. Out of the 10 sequences of the Jun family, 3 of them had completely surrendered to him. Grandpa has always been worried that the other sequences would find trouble with me. Maybe it won't be long before all the 10 sequences submit to me, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. However, he also knew that the most powerful people in the Jun family were the first few sequences. Those sequences were either cultivating in seclusion or training outside. He hadn't seen them until now. Among them, there were people with polychoria and geniuses who had obtained forbidden inheritances. Jun Zhangjian, Jun Wanjie, and the others were far from comparable. Let's go back and wait for the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian to open. Jun Xiaoyao waved his sleeves and left like a banished immortal. He was looking forward to checking in to the supreme treasure. The complete book. Chapter 52. After Jun Wanjie's incident, the news spread throughout the entire Nantian city. The story of Jun Xiaoyao suppressing the sequence 5 and forcing him to submit was also widely known. Although this was considered an internal conflict within the Jun family, Jun Xiaoyao's strength could still be seen. In the western district of Nantian City, a group of young geniuses was having a gathering in an exquisite and gorgeous pavilion. This group of young geniuses came from various orthodoxies, and their auras were not weak. However, among them, there was a young man sitting in the middle, like the moon surrounded by stars. This young man was wearing a golden robe. He was handsome, and his skin was as white as jade. The most eye-catching thing about him was his right arm, which seemed to be shining with divine light. If one looked closely, they would see that there were many sacred runes imprinted on his arm bone. This young man was Ji Xian, a famous genius from the Ji family of the clan of the ancients. At this moment at the banquet, a young genius smiled at Ji Xian and said respectfully, "Brother Ji Xian will be the winner of the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian this time." Yes, Brother Ji Xian is known as the Little Saint, and he is the son of the Holy Spirit College. His status is not comparable to other geniuses. Many young geniuses were flattering him. Ji Xian's status was enough for them to suck up to him. This was because Ji Xian was not only a genius from the Ji family of the ancients. He was also a son of the Holy Spirit College. The Holy Spirit College was an extremely profound college in the Huangtian mystic realm, which had been passed down for countless years. The geniuses who came out of the college were from all the major forces in the Huangtian mystic realm. Many clan of the ancients and the immortal Jin dynasty would even send some of their younger disciples to the Holy Spirit College to cultivate. In the Holy Spirit Academy, only the most outstanding disciples could obtain the status of the Holy Son. The fact that Ji Xian could become sons of heaven was enough to show that his talent and strength were far superior to his peers. Some geniuses also secretly looked at Ji Xian's faintly glowing right arm. It was rumored that Ji Xian's right arm had fused with the bone of a saint king. In the sage realm, a sage king was an existence that was even more powerful than a sage. A sage king was enough to look down on the world with disdain and awe. As for Ji Xian, he was only at the consolidation realm and had already fused with a piece of the saint king's handbone. One could only imagine how powerful he was. Even with his current cultivation level, he was still unable to unleash 10 to 20% of the Saint King's handbone's power. But it was enough for him to laugh proudly at his peers. It was also because of this piece of the Sage King's handbone that he received the title of Little Sage. Speaking of status, he reminds me of the son of God of the Jun family, one of the geniuses said. As soon as he said this, the lively banquet quieted down. A faintly oppressive atmosphere emerged. Over the past few days, they had been in Nantian City. Naturally, they had heard about the incident between Jun Xiaoyao and Jun Wanjie. For these geniuses, not to mention Jun Wanjie, Even Jun Zhangjian was an existence that they had to look up to. And Jun Wanjie, who could easily suppress Jun Xiaoyao, was like the sun and moon in the sky to them. They could only look at him but not touch him. Some people looked at Ji Xian faintly. They had just said that Ji Xian's status was very high, but compared to Jun Xiaoyao, it seemed that it was nothing. Ji Xian's expression did not change much. He picked up a glass of wine and sipped slowly, but his eyes were very deep. The son of God of the Jun family. Ji Xian muttered to himself. To be honest, when he learned that Jun Xiaoyao had appeared in Nantian City, Ji Xian really wanted to compete with Jun Xiaoyao. It was not for anything else, but for the family behind him. For the Huangtiao mystic realm, there had always been a saying that there were 3 families of the clan of the ancients. The so-called 3 families of the clan of the ancients were the most famous, the most powerful, and the most outstanding geniuses of the younger generation. Among them, the geniuses of the younger generation were one of the important indicators to measure the 3 families of the clan of the ancients. After all, the entire clan of the ancients could only be passed down if the younger generation was prosperous. The Ji family used to be one of the 3 families of the clan of the ancients, but now it had become the Jun family, the Jiang family, and the Yi family. Needless to say, the Jun family had always been full of geniuses. In the previous generation, Jun Wuhui alone was enough to establish the Jun family as one of the 3 families of the ancients. In the current generation, there were also the 10 sequences and Jun Xiaoyao, who was an anomaly. In the current generation of the Jiang family, there's also Jiang Xingyi with the innate spirit vessel, Jiang Luoli with the Yuan spirit vessel, and several other geniuses with the king body. As for the Yi family, there was no need to say much about Yi Xingyun and the others with the king body. Yi Guqin, the reincarnation of the sword demon, was enough to lead the Yi family for tens of thousands of years. Because of this, Ji Xian felt that it was unfair. Did the Ji family not have any geniuses? However, Ji Xian was no fool. He knew that Jun Xiaoyao was not someone who was easy to deal with. But he had the bone of the Saint King, and he was also a top genius. It was impossible for him to be afraid of Jun Xiaoyao. Some people noticed that Ji Xian's mood was not quite right, and they forced a smile and said, "Haha, why are you talking about the son of God of the Jun family? Is brother Ji Xian not better than the son of God of the Jun family?" That's right, brother Ji Xian is also someone who is better than the sequence of the Jun family, a young genius flattered. They were not talking nonsense. Ji Xian had indeed fought with Jun Zhangjian before. At that time, he took advantage of the fact that his cultivation level was slightly higher, and he was able to defeat Jun Zhangjian by a few moves. Although Ji Xian's strength was now stronger, it was impossible for others to stay the same. Jun Xiaoyao, if he doesn't provoke me first, I don't have to provoke him first. Moreover, I found some secrets about Supreme Yuan Tian and that thing in a broken ancient book in the Holy Spirit College. Ji Xian murmured to himself. He had not come unprepared, because he had once found an ancient book in the library of the Holy Spirit College by chance. There was not only a supreme token of Yuan Tian in it, but also an ancient talisman. Some of the deeds and secrets of Supreme Yuan Tian were vaguely recorded in the ancient book. There seemed to be a rare item hidden in the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian. If he could get it, he could create an invincible young supreme. After Ji Xian obtained this opportunity, he was very excited. He had been patiently waiting for the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian to appear. Now, the time had finally come. As long as I can seize this opportunity, I, Ji Xian, will soar to the sky and stand at the top of the younger generation of the Huangtian mystic realm. When the time comes, I will defeat all the young supreme beings of the 3 families of the Yu family. Who can stop me? Ji Xian took a deep breath as he thought of the scene that might happen in the future. His eyes surged. At the same time, at the gate of Nantian City, a figure wearing a cloak and a hood entered the city. He raised his head, revealing a handsome face. It was none other than Xiao Chun. The whole book. Chapter 53. Xiao Chun had finally arrived at Nantian City after several days of traveling in the open. He heard the news about Jun Xiaoyao as soon as he entered Nantian City. Xiao Chun felt as if thunder was rumbling in his head when he heard the news. His face went pale. Jun Xiaoyao is even stronger than before. Xiaochen clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. For some reason, he always felt powerless when facing Jun Xiaoyao, like an ant tries to shake a tree. Xiaochen, calm down. You're not weak now. If you can get the ancient dragon bone and the supreme treasure, it is not impossible for you to surpass Jun Xiaoyao. The voice of Master Blue Dragon was heard in Xiaochen's mind. Xiaochen took a deep breath and said, "You're right, great ancestor. My mind is messed up. I must seize this opportunity." Xiaochen had a decent temperament. He had a kind of indomitable will, which was why he had been able to persevere until now. However, Xiaochen did not know that. In the distance behind him, a woman covered in a large gauze robe was following him from a distance. Her face was covered with a white veil, only revealing a pair of watery eyes. It was Wu Mingwei, the eldest princess of the Jin dynasty, who had sneaked out. Xiaochen will not be in any danger for the time being, Wu Mingwei mumbled to herself. She then thought of Jun Xiaoyao, who had been the subject of much discussion during this time. The rumored son of God of the Jun family is so powerful that he can easily suppress the sequence 5 of the Jun family. Wu Mingwei sighed. She was the eldest princess of the Jin dynasty and had a very high status. However, even she felt like she had to look up to the son of God of the Jun family. Jun Xiaoyao's noble status was so high that even she, the eldest princess of the Jin dynasty, could not compare. It is said that the son of God of the Jun family is like a fairy. I really want to see what kind of person he is. Wu Mingwei could not help but be curious. She was not a superficial person. Otherwise, she would not have fallen in love with Xiaochen. However, Jun Xiaoyao had been rumored to be a god, which piqued her curiosity. In the pavilion of the Jun family in Nantian City, Jun Xiaoyao sat cross-legged and adjusted his breath, waiting for the supreme treasure of Yuantian to appear. Not long after, Jun Zhantian and the other elders of the family returned. They also knew what happened between Jun Xiaoyao and Jun Wanjie. Xiaoyao, you did the right thing. Sometimes, you need to use thunderous means to stabilize your position as Sequence 0. Not only did Jun Zhantian not blame him, but he was also very supportive. Would the other elders have anything to say? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Criticize? Who would dare? You are the son of God, personally appointed by the 18th ancestor. Coupled with your unparalleled talent, no one would dare to do anything to you even if you killed Jun Wanjie, let alone making him your slave, said Jun Zhantian. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. This was within his expectations. As for the supreme treasure of Yuantian, the imperishable orthodoxies have already reached an agreement. The treasure will probably be opened in a few days. When the time comes, we will seal the place and only allow the younger generation to enter. The supreme treasure will be your stage. Hearing this, Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly and said, Grandpa, don't worry. Xiaoyao will not bring shame to the name of the Jun family. Haha, I believe in you, Jun Zhantian said with a smile. He was very confident in his grandson. A few days later, in the great wild forest, thousands of miles away from Nantian City, there was a sudden vibration, the pressure of a supreme being spread out. At the same time, wisps of strange black fog began to spread in the deepest part of the great wild forest. Wherever the gray fog passed, all kinds of monsters, Archean remains, and pure-blooded creatures began to roar with bloodshot eyes as if they had gone mad. This is not quite right with the supreme treasure of Yuantian. In the void, several silhouettes appeared from time to time. The one who spoke was the old Taoist of the Daoji Heavenly Sect. The Nanyuan mystical state was the headquarters of the Daoji Heavenly Sect. As the most powerful person in the Daoji Heavenly Sect, the old Taoist was naturally in charge of planning. At this moment, he looked at the gray fog spreading out from the depths of the great wild forest and frowned slightly. Why do I feel that the gray fog is somewhat similar to the dark matter of the foreign realm? An old man in a luxurious robe said hesitantly. He was an elder of the Ji family of the clan of the ancients. His name was Ji Bangyin, and he was also Ji Xian's guardian this time. Hearing his words, the hearts of the other great figures trembled. It is somewhat similar, but is far from being comparable to the real dark matter. Jun Jiantian was among the big shots. He thought for a moment and shook his head slightly. The foreign realm's dark matter was an extremely strange and terrifying existence. Just a little bit of it could cause creatures to go mad and mutate, and in the worst case, they would die. Although the gray fog was also strange, it was still incomparable to the real dark matter. Haha, if the Jun family is afraid, you could be a coward. An old man with a green dragon horn on his head and a sky-blue robe sneered coldly. He was an elder of the Tsang dragon branch in Zulong, and he was there to protect Long Bichi. Hearing this, Jun Jiantian snorted coldly and said, "What? You green-skinned loach, do you want to follow in the footsteps of that black-skinned loach?" Hearing Jun Jiantian's words, the elder of the Tsang dragon branch turned pale. He snorted heavily and said no more. The Jun family's 18th ancestor had killed Supreme Yulong in 3 moves, which had greatly intimidated Zulong. At least before Zulong was ready, they would not have a large-scale conflict with the Jun family. So, should we continue this trial? On the other side, a thin and tall old man asked. He was an elder of the Jiang family of the ancients, and he had brought the Jiang family's geniuses with him. And the one he brought was none other than the Jiang family's goddess, Jiang Shengyi. Although Jiang Shengyi was Jun Xiaoyao's aunt in name, she was only 24 years old. She was also a genius of a younger generation. Of course, we have to continue. If we back down at the slightest difficulty, then these geniuses will not be able to participate in the Emperor Road in the future. Ji Bangyin pretended to be serious. However, his real purpose was to make the Ji family's Ji Xian famous. After a round of discussion, the leaders of the imperishable orthodoxies came to a decision. Meanwhile, in Nantian City, Jun Xiaoyao and the others also sensed the movement from the great wild forest. Is it finally starting? Jun Xiaoyao stood up and walked out of the door. He was dressed in a white robe and looked into the distance. In another pavilion in Nantian City, the little Saint Ji Xian also stood up. His right arm, which had merged with the Saint King's hand bone, was behind his back. After all, he had the advantage. Not only did he have the supreme token of Yuan Tian, but he also had the ancient talisman and some secrets in the secret treasure. Ji Xian was one step ahead of everyone else. I will make the Ji family's name known in the secret treasure of Yuan Tian. Ji Xian smiled confidently. In a restaurant in Nantian City, Xiao Chun, who had eaten and drunk to his heart's content, set off. I, Xiao Chun, must get the supreme treasure and the ancient dragon bone. The complete book. Chapter 54. At the same time, on the other side of the great wild forest, dragons with azure scales were flapping their wings in the sky. Long Bichi stood proudly on the head of the flying dragon. She was wearing a suit of azure armor that wrapped around her slender body. Her face was beautiful and heroic. 2 azure dragon horns protruded from her hair. They looked like they were carved from jade and were faintly glowing. The secret chamber is finally going to be opened. I would like to see if the son of God of the Jun family has 3 heads and 6 arms. Long Bichi raised her eyebrows. She didn't underestimate Jun Xiaoyao. However, she didn't think that Jun Xiaoyao was invincible. After all, in this world of great battles, there were many talents and kings fighting for supremacy. Who was qualified to call themselves invincible? Since no one was, Jun Xiaoyao couldn't be invincible. Long Bichi thought that even if she couldn't defeat Jun Xiaoyao, she could at least escape unscathed. On the other side, Long Bichi in Zulong was not the only one. There were also the young kings of the 9-headed lions, the top far ancient royal family. There were also the powerful sky-swallowing sparrows. Nantian City. Jun Xiaoyao and the others were ready to depart. They stepped out of the void and immediately attracted the attention of everyone. There was nothing he could do about it. With Jun Xiaoyao's current popularity, as soon as his identity was exposed and he was recognized, he would attract everyone's attention wherever he went. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care. Right at this moment, a soft and tender female voice that sounded like a warbler leaving a valley sounded. Xiaoyao, long time no see. Jun Xiaoyao stopped in his tracks when he heard the voice and turned around to look. A group of people came over on a flying boat. The leader of the group was a young woman in a snow-white robe. Her hair and clothes fluttered in the wind, making her look like a fairy. Her face was crystal clear and seemed to be radiating light. Her eyebrows were like the distant mountains, and her eyes were clear. She was very beautiful and had a kind of otherworldly beauty. Perhaps it was because she had the innate Taoist embryo. She was born to be compatible with the Taoist principle, which made her look very harmonious and natural. Who else could this woman be other than Jiang Xingyi? It's the goddess of the Jiang family. Many people shifted their gazes. The eyes of many male cultivators were filled with amazement, and they were slightly stunned. Little Jun Xiaoyao was just about to speak. Jiang Xingyi snorted softly, as if reminding him of something. Sister Xingyi. Jun Xiaoyao had no choice but to change the way he addressed her. That's more like it. Jiang Xingyi smiled, revealing her sparkling white teeth. Although she was much more mature than Jiang Luoli, she was still a young woman after all. Her personality wasn't too mature and old-fashioned. Jun Xiaoyao didn't expect that Jiang Xingyi would come instead of Jiang Luoli. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's expression, Jiang Xingyi teased, "What's wrong? Are you disappointed that you didn't see Luoli?" "No," Jun Xiaoyao answered honestly. He didn't care about that short-legged girl. She's being forced to cultivate in the family. She's furious that she can't see you this time, Jiang Xingyi said with a smile. Then let her cultivate. By the way, Sister Xingyi, are we going together? Jun Xiaoyao asked. After all, Jiang Xingyi was his mother's distant cousin. If possible, he didn't mind taking care of her. You're so mischievous. Who should take care of whom? Jiang Xingyi rolled her eyes at Jun Xiaoyao charmingly. She should be the one protecting Jun Xiaoyao. Okay, then I'll leave it to you, Sister Xingyi. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care. He didn't need anyone's protection anyway. Looking at Jun Xiaoyao, who was casually chatting with Jiang Xingyi, all the male cultivators present showed envious eyes. The female cultivators, on the other hand, were envious of Jiang Xingyi for being able to talk to Jun Xiaoyao. For a moment, the people present didn't know who to be envious of. At this moment, the voice of the Doji Heavenly Sex Elder Taoist echoed in the sky above Nantian City. Everyone, this time when the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian opens, the immortal orthodoxy will seal off the sky and the earth. Cultivators of the older generation are not allowed to enter. This time, the supreme treasure is extremely dangerous. Those who are weak should know what's good for them and leave. Otherwise, you may still be alive. As soon as he finished speaking, a bright light soared into the sky and floated above the great wild forest. It was a huge mirror. The surface of the mirror was like a pool of clear water. This is the ancient sacred weapon of the Jun family, the sky mirror, Jun Zhangjin said. The sky mirror could reflect the scenery of heaven and earth. Jun Xiaoyao knew that this was because they were afraid that the geniuses of the immortal orthodoxy would die in the supreme treasure. If they were in danger, they would be able to help in time with the sky mirror. Let's go. Jun Xiaoyao flicked his sleeves and said, yes. Behind him, Jun Zhangjin, Jun Xuehuang, Jun Wanjie, and Jun Linglong nodded and responded like respectful servants and maids. Jiang Xingyi also followed along with some geniuses of the Jiang family. There was also surprise in her eyes. It seems that my nephew is starting to gain momentum. While Jun Xiaoyao and the others were heading to the great wild forest, the entire Nantian city was in motion. Although the elder Taoist had warned them that the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian was very dangerous, it still couldn't stop these cultivators from being fanatical. That was the supreme treasure of a supreme being. Any opportunity they found could help them rise. After all, these cultivators didn't come from powerful forces. They had to find all kinds of resources and opportunities on their own. Ji Xian and the others from the Ji family also set off with a group of geniuses. At the gate of Nantian City, Xiao Chun, who was wearing a cloak and a hood, raised his head and looked at Jun Xiaoyao and the others as they left. A touch of hatred and determination appeared in his eyes. Jun Xiaoyao, wait! Xiao Chen also rushed to the great wild forest. Behind him, Wu Mingyue, who was hiding in the dark, followed him. She didn't want Xiao Chun to train alone in the dangerous supreme treasure of Yuan Tian. At the same time, Long Beachy, the nine-headed lion, and the sky-swallowing sparrow also set off from the Archean royalty. The entire area around the Great Wild Forest was in an uproar. Nantion City was only a few hundred miles away from the Great Wild Forest. In less than 15 minutes, Jun Xiaoyao and the others arrived at the Great Wild Forest. Jun Xiaoyao looked around. The forest was boundless, and there was a strange gray mist spreading everywhere. It was ominous. In the deepest part of the forest, there was a supreme qi pervading the air, and there was a strange phenomenon. There was no doubt that was where the supreme treasure of Yuan-Tian was located. Only those who had the supreme token of Yuan-Tian could go to the deepest part of the treasure. However, the rest of the people could also find some treasures outside. Therefore, all the cultivators rushed to the Great Wild Forest at the same time. At the same time, in the Great Wild Forest, there were also taigu remains and pure-blooded creatures roaring in anger. They were all infected by the gray mist and went berserk. Their combat strength was stronger than usual. Soon, all kinds of battles broke out. At the same time, Ji Xian of the Ji family also arrived. He glanced at Jun Xiaoyao from afar. Jun Xiaoyao seemed to have sensed something. He turned around and saw Ji Xian. He should be the junior saint of the Ji family, Jun Xiaoyao said casually. However, Jun Zhangjian, who was next to him, gritted his teeth slightly. His eyes were a little gloomy. He used to rely on his cultivation level to defeat me. Then he spread the word that he defeated the sequence of the Jun family. Jun Zhangjian said coldly. He was very unhappy. Oh, I didn't know that, Jun Xiaoyao said. However, his attention was focused on Ji Xian's right arm, the arm bone of the Saint King. Should I snatch it? The whole thing? Chapter 55. Jun Xiaoyao looked at Ji Xian as if he was looking at a piece of meat on a chopping board. Ji Xian also glanced at Jun Xiaoyao with a solemn look in his eyes. Jun Xiaoyao was shrouded in a mist of divine light, making it hard for others to see him clearly. However, that hazy feeling made Ji Xian even more wary. After that, his gaze turned to Jun Zhangjian, who was at the side, and a playful smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Ji Xian was not sure how he would fare against Jun Xiaoyao. However, Ji Xian was confident that he would be able to defeat Jun Zhangjian, Jun Xuehuang, and the others. I really want to beat Ji Xian to the ground. Seeing the playful smile on Ji Xian's face, Jun Zhangjian's face darkened. Ji Xian did not dare to provoke Jun Xiaoyao, so he turned to provoke him. Don't be impatient. Let's wait until we reach the supreme treasure, Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. If Ji Xian were to behave himself, Jun Xiaoyao would have probably only taken away his opportunity instead of doing anything to him. However, if Ji Xian insisted on messing around in front of him, Jun Xiaoyao could only teach him a lesson. Next, Jun Xiaoyao and the others went deep into the Great Wild Forest. Those who were at the top were naturally the top geniuses of the imperishable orthodoxies. Next were the geniuses of the top orthodoxies and first-rate forces. The chief disciple of the Daoji heavenly sect also set off, but he followed closely behind Jun Xiaoyao and the others. This was because the elders of the Daoji heavenly sect had warned him that the safest way to stay safe was to follow the son of God of the Jun family. Roar! A ghost-faced bear that was contaminated by the gray mist raised its head and roared. It stood up straight and was about 3 feet tall, like a small black hill with a murderous aura. The bear stretched out its claws and smashed several disciples of the Celestial Bridge stage into meat patties. However, in the blink of an eye, a magnificent golden palm print came from the front. With a loud bang, the powerful ghost-masked man-bear was turned into a meat patty. Jun Xiaoyao calmly withdrew his hand and said, "Let's move on." Jun Zhangjian and the others were fine. After all, they already knew how powerful Jun Xiaoyao was. The chief disciple of the Daoji heavenly sect, who was following behind, swallowed a mouthful of saliva. His eyes were filled with shock. As expected of the son of God of the Jun family, he killed the ghost masked bear with a single palm strike, even though it was difficult for ordinary cultivators at the Celestial Bridge stage to deal with it. The lead disciple sighed. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao was not the only one who was straightforward. It was the same for Ji Xian. He also attacked calmly. On his right arm, there was a divine rune brand, and divine light bloomed. With a casual push of his palm and a flick of his finger, rays of light shot out and tore apart the demonic beasts in front of him as easily as blowing off dust. The young saint of the Ji family is also invincible. He can kill powerful demonic beasts with a raise of his hand. That's right. Ji Xian's right arm has been integrated with a piece of the Saint King's hand bone. He doesn't even need to use any martial arts skills. A casual palm strike is shockingly powerful. Many geniuses from first-rate forces sighed. The geniuses from the imperishable orthodoxies were treated differently. They could even integrate with the Saint King's hand bone. Of course, the geniuses from the imperishable orthodoxies were excluded. There were also some stunning dark horses that appeared. Hey, who is that cloak man? How can he be so powerful? Some of the cultivators also noticed a figure wearing a cloak and a hood. He did not reveal his true appearance, but with a casual punch, there was a burst of azure dragon light pattern, which easily crushed the demonic beasts in front of him. This surprised many people. They did not expect such a dark horse to appear. TSK, the leaks have indeed appeared. It seems that they have developed well and are growing well. They did not disappoint me. On the other side, Jun Xiaoyao sensed something and noticed the cloaked figure from the corner of his eye. He immediately knew that it was Xiao Chun. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not do anything. He knew that Xiao Chun wanted to hide his identity and not be discovered by him. Then, he would pretend to be weak and take advantage of the opportunity in the secret realm. In the end, his strength would skyrocket and he would be able to beat him. However, dreams were full, but reality was cruel. Xiao Chun thought that he was on the second level, and Jun Xiaoyao was on the first level. Little did he know that Jun Xiaoyao was already on the fifth level. The entire situation was under Jun Xiaoyao's control. Xiao Chun, I'll give you one last chance to be delusional. When it's time to harvest the leeks, don't say that I didn't give you any face. Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a faint smile. On the other side, under the hood, Xiao Chen's face was determined, and there was a hint of excitement. His chance to rise was finally here. Jun Xiaoyao, when I integrate with the ancient dragon bone and cultivate the blue heaven dragonization method to greater mastery, I will trample you under my feet in front of everyone. The battle continued. The cultivators who attacked the great wild forest and the monsters in the forest engaged in a bloody battle. Only a few people, such as Jun Xiaoyao, could push through. The other geniuses of the major forces, as well as some rogue cultivators, suffered a large number of casualties. We are not on the same level as the successors of the imperishable orthodoxies. A rogue cultivator said bitterly as he looked at the transcendent figure who had already entered the depths of the forest and sighed. Jun Xiaoyao was like a white-robed divine king with an invincible aura. All the monsters in front of him could not withstand more than 2 or 3 attacks. Before long, Jun Xiaoyao and the others were the first to enter the deepest part of the great wild forest. Looking around, there was a huge black crack in the depths of the forest, like a wound on the earth. A strange gray mist was emitted from it. Jun Zhangjian and the others used their magical power to protect themselves from the gray mist. However, doing so consumed a lot of energy. In addition, they also felt a faint pressure in the gray mist. However, Jun Xiaoyao was different. He did not use his magical power to protect himself at all. This was because he had the sacred body of the ancients, which was extremely strong and yang and could not be invaded by any evil. Even his blood was golden. The qi and blood of the sacred body were extremely resistant to all kinds of evil and yin qi. It seems that the supreme treasure is under the crack in the earth, but there seems to be some strange changes, Jun Xiaoyao murmured. Just as he finished speaking, a voice rang out. Another roar was heard. A terrifying black ape with a single horn on its head and a pair of wings on its back leaped over. With a stomp of its feet, it collapsed a cliff that was dozens of feet high. It's the archaic remnant, the demon ape. Some of the cultivators who went deep into the forest could not help but exclaim. The archaic remnant had a trace of the bloodline passed down from the archaic era. Its strength was far stronger than ordinary monsters. This demon ape had a murderous aura, and its strength had reached the consolidation realm. In addition, the archaic remnant was stronger than humans in the same realm. Even the consolidation realm geniuses of the immortal orthodoxy would have a hard time dealing with this demon ape. Most importantly, Jun Xiaoyao's current realm was only at the celestial bridge realm. Roar. The archaic remnant, the demon ape, let out a roar. After being contaminated by the gray mist, its eyes were scarlet. Its already violent temperament seemed to have gone berserk as it charged toward Jun Xiaoyao. Along the way, it crashed into a few mountains. Everyone's eyes were fixed on it. In the void above the great wild forest, the sky observation mirror also reflected the scene outside the supreme treasure. I'm afraid the son of God of the Jun family is in trouble, Ji Bangyin, the elder of the Ji family, said with a smile. The whole book. Chapter 56. Not even Ji Xian could easily deal with an Archean remnant of the consolidation stage. Not to mention Jun Xiaoyao, whose level was one level lower. Although Ji Bangyin didn't say anything sarcastic or belittling, it was obvious that he was enjoying the show. Jun Zhantian's old face didn't change. He even smiled. He knew Jun Xiaoyao's strength better than anyone else. Outside the supreme treasure, Jun Xiaoyao's handsome face did not waver in the slightest as he watched the demon ape dashing toward him. He raised his hand, and the endless golden spirit sea in his body surged. The vigorous golden magical power was like a vast ocean, vast and surging. In the void, the magical power condensed into divine weapons such as sabers, spears, swords, halberds, axes, hooks, and tridents. It was the army attack formula, the martial arts of the Jun family. Go! Jun Xiaoyao pushed out his hand, and thousands of divine weapons turned into a golden torrent, rushing toward the demon ape. The demon ape roared at the sky, and the black murderous aura around it surged, condensing into a black armor on the surface of its body. Boom! An earth-shattering collision sound erupted. The combatant formula broke through the black armor on the surface of the demonic ape's body, but did not cause much damage to its body. As expected of an Archean remnant, Jun Xiaoyao was a little surprised. The demon ape saw this, and a black horn on its forehead bloomed with black runes. It turned into a beam of light that pierced toward Jun Xiaoyao. Some of the cultivators who had rushed to this place from all directions looked up. Ji Xian, Xiao Chun, and Wu Mingyue, who had just arrived, also cast their gazes toward them. Jun Xiaoyao's face was as calm as water. He used the divine elephant overpowering force again. A pitch-black shadow of the god of the underworld spread out from his body. It was the strongest defense of the divine elephant overpowering force, the god of the underworld protection. Bang! The pitch-black beam of light fell on the god of the underworld protection, causing ripples, but it couldn't break through the defense. Even the ferocious demonic ape's blood-red eyes were slightly stunned. Clearly, it did not expect that the human in front of it, whose cultivation level was lower than its, could actually withstand its ultimate divine ability. Jun Xiaoyao unfurled the demon wings on his back, increasing his speed as he flashed in front of the demon ape. He formed a seal with his hands, and a majestic figure that reached the heavens and the 9 underworlds appeared between heaven and earth. Jun Xiaoyao exuded a terrifying aura that could suppress heaven and earth, the sun, the moon, and the universe. He stood between the illusory figures of the emperors, as if he was the son of a god who ruled over heaven and earth. The moment the man-ruler seal appeared, it suppressed the universe. Boom! Jun Xiaoyao lashed out with his seal as if an ancient divine mountain was pressing down on the ape. He slammed the ape to the ground right away, causing the ape's flesh to be torn open and blood to flow. The demon ape roared, but Jun Xiaoyao punched it again. The vast fist wind seemed to have formed a spatial storm that shook the entire area. Bang! 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 After 3 punches, this ferocious and awe-inspiring archaic remnant lost all signs of life. Everyone fell silent. There was dead silence. This was because this scene was simply too shocking to the eyes. Jun Xiaoyao looked like an immortal who had not been tainted by the mortal world. However, when he attacked, he was so violent that he smashed an archaic remnant into a meat patty with 3 punches. Ji Xian's gaze was unprecedentedly serious. Xiao Chun clenched his fists tightly, his eyes filled with reluctance and a hint of fear. Jun Xiaoyao was too strong. Xiao Chun thought that he had completely caught up to Jun Xiaoyao after cultivating for a few years. However, it seemed that Jun Xiaoyao's strength still made him feel a sense of despair. Wu Mingyue, who was hiding in the dark, also had shock in her bright eyes. There was no falsehood in the saying that a person with a great reputation lived up to his name. In the void above the great wild forest, Ji Bangyin wanted to say something, but no words came out. Jun Zhantian stroked his beard and chuckled. Ah, my grandson is good at everything, but he doesn't know how to keep a low profile. Ji Bangyin's face stiffened when he heard that. He felt as if there was a fishbone stuck in his throat. Fortunately, Ji Xian's performance was also good. Otherwise, Ji Bangyin would have been too ashamed to stay there. This era of great competition is probably only the son of God of the Jun family. The elder of the Jiang family lamented. He didn't mean anything else. After all, Jun Xiaoyao was Jiang Rou's son, so he was half a member of the Jiang family. The result is not out yet. It's too early to say that, the elder of the Tsang dragon said indifferently. At the same time, Long Bichi was Zulong, near the supreme secret treasure. The 9-headed lion clan and the sky-swallowing sparrow also came from the other side of the great wild forest. For a moment, all the powerful cultivators gathered outside the supreme secret realm of Yuantian. The atmosphere was tense. Long Bichi noticed Jun Xiaoyao at first glance. It wasn't intentional. As long as Jun Xiaoyao stood there, it was as if he was the center of the world. Everyone's attention would be drawn to him. Are you Jun Xiaoyao? Long Bichi looked at Jun Xiaoyao and asked calmly. You are. Jun Xiaoyao looked at her calmly. He could tell that the woman in front of him had dragon horns. She must be the genius of the Zulong continent. I am Long Bichi, a descendant of the Tsang dragon of the Zulong continent, Long Bichi said proudly. Jun Xiaoyao had a rather peculiar look in his eyes when he heard that. After a long while, he finally said, it's really a good name that's easy to pronounce. Long Bichi looked at Jun Xiaoyao in confusion. She didn't understand what he meant. In another direction, a golden divine light shone brightly between heaven and earth. A majestic golden lion stepped on the sky and made the sky tremble. The most special thing about it was that it had 9 heads. Its chi and blood were surging like tides. When the 9 heads roared at the same time, it sounded like thunder. Its aura was extremely powerful. It's the young supreme master of the 9-headed lion tribe. Many human cultivators turned pale and shouted in surprise. The 9-headed lion tribe was definitely an extremely powerful, far ancient tribe. It was said that the 9-headed lion tribe used to be unstoppable a long time ago. In the end, a Buddhist emperor helped to convert the 9-headed lion tribe into a mount and a guardian. Although the population of the 9-headed lion tribe was small in recent times, there was a supreme master who was known as the Saint of 9 Spirits, who made the tribe famous. If not for the fact that the tribe was so small, it would have been one of the Archean royalty. Is this young supreme master the descendant of the Saint of 9 Spirits? A human genius asked with fear in his eyes. The 9-headed lion tribe looked at Jun Xiaoyao and said in human language, Yes, young supreme master of the human tribe. You are powerful enough to be my follower. On the other side of the sky, a demonic wind suddenly blew. A giant blackbird covered the sky and the sun. Its wings were like clouds in the sky, and its eyes were like 2 blood-red moons floating in the sky. Everywhere it passed, it carried the smell of blood, causing many human cultivators' faces to turn pale. The sky-devouring sparrow tribe was another far ancient tribe with a fierce reputation. Humans are not even qualified to be followers. They're only fit to be food, the sky-devouring sparrow tribe said. The sky-devouring sparrow stared at Jun Xiaoyao with a bloodthirsty, look in its eyes. The sky-devouring sparrow tribe was extremely ferocious and liked to eat human flesh. Jun Xiaoyao's sacred body of the ancients was a great medicine for the human body, just like the meat of Tang Sanzang. However, the sky-devouring sparrow also knew that Jun Xiaoyao had a guardian. Therefore, it didn't want to eat Jun Xiaoyao. Looking at the two far ancient creatures who were talking nonsense, Jun Xiaoyao tilted his head slightly and said with confusion in his eyes, "Are you far ancient tribes all so brainless?" The whole book. Chapter 57. The sky-swallowing sparrow, the nine-headed lion, and Long Bichi were all dumbfounded. Jun Xiaoyao had insulted all the ancient races by himself. "What? Is there something wrong with what I, the son of God, said?" Jun Xiaoyao's words were very calm and emotionless. However, it was his arrogance that infuriated the nine-headed lion and the other ancient races. On the human side, Ji Xian and the others were also surprised and astonished. Even he didn't dare to provoke the nine-headed lion, the sky-swallowing sparrow, and the other ancient races at the same time. Just one of them was enough to put him in a difficult position. "Human, even if you are the son of God of the clan of the ancients, you will pay the price today." The sky-swallowing sparrow was furious. It flapped its wings and stirred up a black storm. A chilly wind seemed to be blowing in the whole area. The strong airflow even blew away some of the weaker cultivators. The nine-headed lion was also furious. Its 9 heads roared at the same time. The sound was as loud as thunder, shaking the earth. Does the son of God of the Jun family really have something up his sleeves, or is he just courting death? Although Long Bichi was also angry, she remembered the warning of the ancestor of the Tsang dragon and didn't act rashly. However, Long Bichi knew that it would be very difficult for her to deal with the sky-swallowing sparrow and the nine-headed lion at the same time. Each of the two ancient races could defeat more than 80% of the talents of the human race. Anyone else would have been terrified if they were to face Jun Xiaoyao's current situation. The terrifying black storm swept over. The shadow of the underworld protection appeared on Jun Xiaoyao's body. He stood in the air with his hands behind his back. His glittering hair was blowing in the wind. His peerless and flawless face looked as if it had been personally carved by the heavens. It was as calm as a still lake. Many female cultivators were impressed by Jun Xiaoyao's temperament. They prayed for him in their hearts. "Are you still pretending at a time like this?" Xiao Chun snorted inwardly. He would never admit that he was not only jealous of Jun Xiaoyao's status, but also his appearance. How can two beasts overturn the heavens? Jun Xiaoyao muttered indifferently. His figure finally moved. Yang Qi drew on the strength of the hell-crushing god mammoth, causing the 70,000 mega-mammoth particles to awaken. In an instant, golden qi and blood gushed out like a huge wave. Rolling in the sky, it vaguely condensed into the image of a golden divine elephant that could shake the heavens and shake the earth and shatter the stars. He punched out, and the golden divine elephant's phantom also followed suit with its elephant trunk. The pitch-black storm in front of him was torn apart by Jun Xiaoyao's fists. Seeing this, the sky-swallowing sparrow flapped its wings again. Countless black feathers shot out, covering the sky and covering the earth. It was like a black rain of destruction. This was the great ability of the sky-swallowing sparrow clan, the black feather arrow. If any celestial bridge realm prodigy were to fall into it, they would be pierced through without any chance of survival. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm. He didn't even try to defend himself. Instead, he charged forward in an extremely ferocious manner. "You're courting death," the sky-swallowing sparrow said coldly. However, in the next moment, the sky-swallowing sparrow's pair of blood-red, moon-like eyes froze. Its black feathers stood on end. A dense clanging sound was heard. It was the arrow feathers that fell on Jun Xiaoyao's body. However, the arrow feathers that could even pierce and shatter a noble weapon couldn't even break Jun Xiaoyao's skin when it fell on him. "Is that all?" Jun Xiaoyao sneered. The devil's wings extended from his back, and his figure swept in front of the sky-swallowing sparrow in an instant. He didn't use any fancy moves. He directly punched down with his fist. The golden fist radiance was monstrous, illuminating the sky. At the same time, the sky-swallowing sparrow let out a miserable cry. One of its wings was broken, and blood flowed out. "Human, you're too arrogant." The nine-headed lion rushed forward. It had also been stunned by Jun Xiaoyao's unparalleled physical prowess earlier. Now that it had come back to its senses, it charged forward. The 9 heads of the nine-headed lion roared in unison. Visible spatial sound waves spread out, and the void in front of it seemed to be distorted. This was the grand magic of the nine-headed lion clan, the lion's roar. The roar could even crack the sky. Some of the cultivators in the surrounding forest hurriedly used their dharma power to protect their 7 orifices. Even so, some of the cultivators were still bleeding from their mouths and noses and almost fainted. One could imagine how much pressure Jun Xiaoyao, who was in the center of such a terrifying power, would be under. However, Jun Xiaoyao was still calm and collected. The sound waves hit the underworld protection and set off waves, but they couldn't break through. Jun Xiaoyao took the opportunity to raise his hand. Endless Dharma power surged and turned into the underworld spear. He threw it out and directly pierced the sky-swallowing sparrow's body. Blood splattered and feathers scattered everywhere. The sky-swallowing sparrow let out a high-pitched and sharp cry. Jun Xiaoyao flashed out, pushed his hands horizontally, grabbed the sky-swallowing sparrow's body, and then suddenly tore it apart. Swish! The sky-swallowing sparrow's body was cut in half. The scene was extremely shocking. "Ling Long, when we go back, make shredded chicken for us." Jun Xiaoyao directly threw the 2 halves of the sky-swallowing sparrow's body to Jun Ling Long behind him. All the cultivators were stunned. What did they just hear? Using the infamous sky-swallowing sparrow as an ingredient and giving it an insulting name, shredded chicken? You are too arrogant. The 9-headed lion was furious. Although it wasn't closely related to the sky-swallowing sparrow, it was still a far ancient race. It couldn't help but feel sorry for the loss of its kind. You want this son of God to be your follower? How ridiculous. However, you are barely qualified to be this son of God's mount. Jun Xiaoyao's words made the 9-headed lion's 9 heads roar. To the 9-headed lions, the word mount was taboo to them. This was because their ancestors had been enlightened by the Buddhist arch and used as a mount. This was a disgrace that was engraved in their bloodline. You are courting death. Seal of the fearless lion. The 9-headed lion went completely berserk and directly used the grand theurgy of its race. The seal of the fearless lion was an extremely terrifying grand theurgy. It was almost at the level of a true dragon's grand theurgy. The 9-headed lion's body was surging with golden light. An ancient golden seal was condensed, and countless runes fell. The void shook and the earth shook. This move was so powerful that it made Long Bichi, Ji Xian, and other geniuses feel a chill in their hearts. They knew that if they were to face this move, they would definitely pay a heavy price. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were calm. Even in the face of such a powerful grand theurgy, he was extremely calm. Blazing brilliance gathered in front of Jun Xiaoyao's chest, as if a small sun had appeared. Immediately, a terrifyingly bright, divine light burst out, as if the heavens were punishing him. Wherever the divine light passed, the void rippled, and the surrounding mountains exploded. This was the grand theurgy of the bone of supremacy, the light of tribulation. The most complete grand theurgy of the bone of supremacy was the hand of heaven. Jun Xiaoyao had already mastered it. However, in this situation, there was no need to use the hand of heaven. The light of tribulation alone was enough to deal with it. Rumble. The dazzling light of tribulation fell on the seal of the fearless lion and blasted it away. Then, it swept past the 9-headed lion without slowing down. The 9-headed lion was so frightened that its hair stood on end. It hurriedly dodged, but it was still hit by the light of tribulation. 4 of its heads fell off. Immediately, blood gushed out like a fountain. The complete book. Chapter 58. Roar. The 9-headed lion let out a miserable howl as 4 of its heads were cut off, severely injuring it. At that moment, Its remaining 5 heads all revealed looks of panic in their eyes. This human was way too scary. If it didn't know that Jun Xiaoyao was the son of God of the clan of the ancients, the 9-headed lion would have thought that he was an Archean true dragon in human form. His terrifying physical strength was even stronger than that of creatures of the Archean tribes. Even if you have the sacred body of the ancients, you can't be this strong. The 9-headed lion roared as divine light rose from its body. Divine light lingered around the severed parts of its 4 heads, as if new heads were about to grow out. The 9-headed lion's vitality is too strong. Many human cultivators were amazed by the 9-headed lion's state. Even so, such means were still nothing in front of Jun Xiaoyao. Don't use your limited imagination to figure out what I, the Son of God, can do. There was no way Jun Xiaoyao was going to give the 9-headed lion a chance to recover. He attacked again, but he did not use any special abilities this time. He simply threw punches at the beast. Every punch was as heavy as a ton, breaking the 9-headed lion's bones and breaking its tendons. This kind of ferocious hand-to-hand combat stunned everyone present. The sacred body of the ancients is indeed invincible in close combat. The elder of the Jiang family exclaimed in the void. "Are you willing to be my mount now?" Jun Xiaoyao asked indifferently. "Humph, I am a descendant of the saint of 9 spirits. I would rather die than be humiliated like this." The remaining 5 heads of the 9-headed lion roared in unison. "Oh, is that so?" Jun Xiaoyao attacked again. After a few breaths, the 9-headed lion was left with only 4 heads. "Don't even think about making me submit." The 9-headed lion continued to roar. After a quarter of an hour, the 9-headed lion was left with only 3 heads, and it began to panic. "Son of God of the Jun family, let's fight again someday, if you dare," the 9-headed lion said with fear in its eyes. After a few more breaths, it only had 2 heads left. For the 9-headed lion, although its heads could be regenerated, if all 9 of its heads were chopped off, then it would be completely powerless to reverse the situation. Even the gods would not be able to save it. In the end, the 9-headed lion let out a miserable cry, begging for mercy. "Son of God, stop. Don't behead me anymore. There's only 1 left. If you continue, I'll go bald." The 9-headed lion was beaten until it cried out in pain. It lay on the ground and begged for mercy. Its entire body was dripping with blood, and only its head was left. It looked like it wanted to cry, but had no tears. Jun Xiaoyao had turned the 9-headed lion into a 1-headed lion. Many cultivators were speechless when they saw this. The 9-headed lion, who had an unyielding expression earlier, was now lying on the ground like a fat orange cat, wagging its tail and begging for mercy. The contrast was too great. "Are you convinced?" Jun Xiaoyao stepped on the remaining head of the 9-headed lion. "Son of God, please don't kill me." The 9-headed lion trembled. It no longer had the dignity of a far ancient imperial family. It knew that Jun Xiaoyao really dared to kill it. With the background of the Jun family, even the Saint of 9 Spirits would not be able to take revenge. "Well, I guess you could just barely be my mount," Jun Xiaoyao said plainly. The 9-headed lion was very powerful. It was in such a miserable state because its opponent was Jun Xiaoyao. It would be very difficult for any other genius to beat the 9-headed lion to such a state. Yes, the 9-headed lion lowered its head. When the cultivators saw this scene, they felt as if there were raging waves in their hearts. Jun Xiaoyao tore apart the sky-swallowing sparrow and subdued the 9-headed lion. It was impossible for ordinary people to do so. However, Jun Xiaoyao did it with ease. Long Bichi took a deep breath. Her chest heaved up and down. She finally understood why the ancestral patriarch had warned her. Long Haoyan didn't die in vain. Long Bichi's eyes were filled with fear. At the same time, she thought of the genius who was still in seclusion to absorb the dragon essence. I wonder if Long Haoyan, who has absorbed 7 dragon essences and the blood of the Emperor Dragon, can defeat the Son of God of the Jun family. On the other hand, Ji Xian, Xiao Chun, and the others increased the danger level of Jun Xiaoyao to the extreme. Suddenly, a strange phenomenon appeared in the crack in the ground again. Gray fog rolled and light surged. The supreme treasure is finally open. All the cultivators and far ancient living beings were on high alert. Jun Xiaoyao looked at the crack. He didn't see the system's notification in his mind. It seems that I have to go deep into the supreme treasure of Yuantian to check in, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. Let's go. Ji Xian and the others' eyes lit up. They wrapped their bodies with magic power and rushed down. The rest of the cultivators followed closely behind them. As for Long Bichi, she glanced at Jun Xiaoyao and gave up on messing with Jun Xiaoyao. Originally, I came here to deal with Jun Xiaoyao and bring glory to the lair of Zulong. But now, it seems that I have underestimated the situation. Let's focus on finding the ancient dragon bones, Long Bichi thought to herself. She had come here mainly to mess with Jun Xiaoyao and then to look for the ancient dragon bones. But now, after witnessing Jun Xiaoyao's strength with her own eyes, Long Bichi consciously put the ancient dragon bones as her top priority. Seeing that Long Bichi had obediently entered the crack in the ground, Jun Xiaoyao chuckled and said, "You know your place, let's go." Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand and rode the nine-headed lion into the crack in the ground first. Jun Zhangjian, Jun Xuehuang, Jun Linglong, Jun Wanjie, and Jiang Xingyi followed closely behind. As soon as they entered the crack, a thick gray fog rolled in. It was much thicker than the outside world. Many cultivators who entered recklessly were quickly corroded by the gray fog and lost their minds. Their eyes turned red. Even magic power couldn't completely block out the gray fog. Boom! Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand casually, killing several cultivators who had gone berserk before him with a single palm strike. Soon, he opened a path and arrived at the bottom of the crack. Glancing into the distance, they could see a magnificent underground palace with an aura of the Nine Heaven Supreme realm lingering deep within it. Jun Xiaoyao released his soul power and roughly checked the place with his soul power. The entire underground palace seemed to be divided into two levels. Most people could enter the outer level, but the supreme token of Yuantian might be required to enter the inner level. It seems that if I want to check in, I have to go deep into the inner level, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. At that moment, Ji Xian had already rushed into the underground palace. He was smiling, and there was a hint of excitement in his eyes. Is he? Jun Xiaoyao noticed Ji Xian's expression and pondered. Judging from Ji Xian's expression, he seemed to know some secrets about the supreme treasure. Ji Xian, I'll let you be my treasure-seeking mouse. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. On the other side, he also noticed that Xiao Chun was also rushing to the other entrance of the underground palace. Jun Xiaoyao knew that Xiao Chun was a man of fortune. He was sure that Xiao Chun would be able to gain quite a bit from the secret treasure. Thinking of this, Jun Xiaoyao turned his head and said, "Wanjie, I have something to ask of you." "Yes, young master, please go ahead." Jun Wanjie cupped his hands and said. Jun Xiaoyao transmitted his voice to Jun Wanjie. Jun Wanjie nodded and left in a flash. The entire supreme treasure of Yuantian is under my control. Jun Xiaoyao put his hands behind his back and said confidently, "The entire book." Chapter 59. Jun Xiaoyao and the others started to go deeper into the underground palace. It was a supreme treasure, and there was a strange gray fog everywhere. Even an idiot would know that something strange had happened to this supreme treasure, causing it to be filled with inauspiciousness. Inside the underground palace, there was an ancient and decaying smell. At first glance, there was a gloomy wind, fog, and broken walls. There were many black corpses on the ground. The strangest thing was that these corpses had black scales on their bodies, as if they had mutated, the moment the cultivators stepped into the underground palace. These strange demonic corpses suddenly went berserk and pounced on the cultivators with blood-red eyes. Their nails were as sharp as blades, easily tearing the cultivators' bodies apart. Cultivators in the Celestial Bridge realm couldn't stop these demonic corpses at all. Soon, a large number of cultivators were slaughtered. On Jun Xiaoyao's side, however, he was able to easily crush those demonic corpses into mincemeat with ease. As for the others, he didn't care, and he didn't care. Jun Xiaoyao wasn't a babysitter for these cultivators, and he wasn't a righteous cultivator either. With great power came great responsibility. This kind of thing had nothing to do with Jun Xiaoyao. Behind Jun Xiaoyao, Jiang Shengyi, Jun Linglong, and Jun Xuehuang didn't do anything. It wasn't that they didn't want to help, but that they didn't have the chance. Jun Xiaoyao opened a path casually, and none of the demonic corpses could stop him. On the other side, Long Biqi, Xiao Chun, and the others were no longer on the path. No one knew where they went. Jun Wanjie wasn't beside Jun Xiaoyao either. Ji Xian glanced at Jun Xiaoyao from the corner of his eye. Seeing that Jun Xiaoyao didn't notice him, he also left the main hall in a flash. After Ji Xian left, Jun Xiaoyao sneered. He didn't want to kill Ji Xian now, because it wasn't time yet. As time went by, the number of cultivators was decreasing. Most of the cultivators were slaughtered by the demonic corpses. Snow Phoenix, Zhang Jian, you two go and look for Ji Xian in secret, but don't alert the enemy just yet, Jun Xiaoyao said. Upon hearing this, both Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang were shocked. The Son of God wanted to set his sights on Ji Xian. At the thought of this, Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang could not help but feel pity for Ji Xian. Those who were targeted by Jun Xiaoyao did not have a good ending. Jiang Shengyi opened his mouth and said with some worry, Xiaoyao, are you going to attack Ji Xian? He has the bone of the Saint King. If you really go all out, Jiang Shengyi was worried. She was not afraid that Jun Xiaoyao would lose to Ji Xian. Instead, if Ji Xian were to fight back with all his might, he would probably cause some damage to Jun Xiaoyao. Sister Shengyi, are you worried about me? Jun Xiaoyao said with a faint smile. Jiang Shengyi bit her lip and said, I'm your aunt. If I don't care about you, who will? There's no need for that. In the younger generation of the immortal realm, there is no one in the past, present, or future who can make me, Jun Xiaoyao, afraid. Jun Xiaoyao smiled casually. This was not arrogance, but the truth. His talent was unparalleled, and he was supported by the system. If he was still afraid of this, and that, Jun Xiaoyao could kill himself with a piece of tofu. Jiang Shengyi rolled her eyes at Jun Xiaoyao, but the corners of her mouth could not help but curl up slightly. Jun Xiaoyao's confident look was really beautiful. Let's go. There are some treasures in this underground palace. We can't waste them, Jun Xiaoyao said with a wave of his sleeve. Then, Jun Xiaoyao rode the nine-headed lion and moved together with Jiang Shengyi. Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang went to secretly track Ji Xian. On the other side, Xiao Chun, wearing a hood and a cloak, was walking through the complicated underground palace. Xiao Chun, go to the left, then go straight. I have already sensed the presence of the ancient dragon bone. It is not far away. Master Blue Dragon's slightly excited voice sounded in Xiao Chen's mind. Even Master Blue Dragon could not keep calm. If he could get the ancient dragon bone and fuse it with other materials, he could rebuild his body. Not only would he be able to return to his peak state, but he might even be able to break through and become a supremacy. Even a quasi-supreme expert like Master Azure Dragon couldn't contain his excitement. Not to mention Xiao Chun, who was a hothead. His eyes flashed with excitement, and he could not help but quicken his pace. After about a while, Xiao Chun killed some demon corpses and a few other cultivators, and entered something that looked like a karst cave. The entire underground karst cave was extremely spacious. Xiao Chen's breathing quickened as he looked around. In the huge karst cave, there were 5 huge dragon skeletons. 4 of the skeletons were dark gold in color, and there were many complicated and mysterious runes imprinted on the surface of the bones. Even though they were just skeletons, the 4 dark gold dragon skeletons still carried a majestic aura, and Xiao Chun could not help but have the urge to kneel down and worship them. Are these the ancient dragon bone? Xiao Chun was so excited that his fingers were trembling. Just by sensing this majestic aura, he knew that the ancient dragon bone was extremely powerful. It would definitely allow him to undergo a complete metamorphosis. However, in his mind, Master Azure Dragon suddenly exclaimed in shock. Is that the legendary supremacy dragon bone? Supremacy Dragon Bone? Xiao Chun was puzzled, and then he looked at the last skeleton. That skeleton was different from the other 4 dark gold dragon skeletons. It had a jade-like luster, as if it was carved out of divine jade. There were many runes on the skeleton, and they moved like the stars in the sky, which was mysterious and powerful. Although the 4 dark gold ancient dragon skeletons had powerful auras, compared to this ancient dragon bone, they were like subjects facing an emperor. The Supremacy Dragon Bone was left behind by the Supreme Dragon who had the bloodline of the dragon ancestor. It's far more powerful than the ancient dragon bone, Master Blue Dragon said hurriedly. Xiao Chun took a deep breath after hearing that, and he could not hide the shock in his eyes. How powerful was the bloodline of the dragon ancestor? The entire Zulong was named after the dragon ancestor. The true ancestral dragon ancient emperor was an existence that could even suppress some great emperors of the human race. Of course, the Supremacy Dragon Bone in front of Xiao Chun was not a pure-blood dragon ancestor. There were probably only 1 or 2 pure-blood dragon ancestor skeletons in the entire Zulong. However, even if it only contained a little bit of the dragon ancestor's bloodline, it was enough to make the Supremacy Dragon Bone a priceless treasure. I'm rich. I'm going to be rich. Xiao Chun breathed heavily, and his body trembled slightly due to excitement. He practiced the spell of dragon transformation in blue heaven. If he merged with the Supremacy Dragon Bone, how powerful would he become? By then, he would at least be able to defeat the younger generation of the Huangtian mystic realm, if not an era. Xiao Chun, we shouldn't stay here for too long. Quickly put away the 5 dragon skeletons, Master Blue Dragon reminded him. Yes. Xiao Chun also reacted. He just wanted to take away the 5 dragon skeletons, find a quiet place to refine them, and then take revenge on Jun Xiaoyao. However, just as Xiao Chun was about to put away the dragon skeletons, a surprised female voice was heard. Those are the ancient dragon bones and the Supremacy Dragon Bone, the whole book. Chapter 60. Xiao Chun's heart skipped a beat when he heard the voice. He turned around abruptly. A beautiful woman dressed in green armor appeared. She was valiant and formidable, and her phoenix eyes were threatening. She had 2 cyan dragon horns on her head. She was none other than Long Bichi. She is the one from Zulong. Xiao Chun's heart sank. Although he knew that Long Bichi might have come for the dragon bones, However, he did not expect Long Bichi to find them so quickly. Long Bichi was holding a cyan bone in her hand. She was able to sense the location of the dragon bones with the help of this bone. When Long Bichi saw the 5 sets of dragon skeletons, especially the supreme ancestral dragon skeleton, she could not help but feel a burning desire in her eyes. Even in Zulong, there were only a few supreme ancestor dragon bones. That's great. We can complete the mission now. Long Bichi heaved a sigh of relief. Although her plan to deal with Jun Xiaoyao had been put on hold, she had accomplished her mission. Long Bichi withdrew her gaze and finally noticed Xiao Chun standing beside the dragon bone. Long Bichi frowned and said in confusion, I didn't expect a human to arrive before me. Since I'm in a good mood, you can leave now. Long Bichi waved her hand. She did not take Xiao Chun seriously. Humph, you are too arrogant. Are you looking down on me? Xiao Chun frowned and said in a low voice, Take you seriously? Long Bichi tilted her head slightly and gave a sarcastic smile. Do you think you are Jun Xiaoyao? I am afraid of Jun Xiaoyao. But you think I am afraid of you? Xiao Chun's eyes were filled with anger when he heard Long Bichi's words. Jun Xiaoyao, Jun Xiaoyao, Jun Xiaoyao again. How am I not as good as him? Xiao Chun's sudden outburst surprised Long Bichi. She did not know why the human in front of her had suddenly lost his mind. Dragon Girl, you're all going to have to lie down. Xiao Chun actually took the initiative to attack. Despicable human brat. You are courting death. Long Bichi raised her eyebrows and attacked him as well. The 2 figures instantly collided with each other, setting off waves of magic power. Your cultivation? Long Bichi was slightly surprised. She did not expect that this human brat in front of her actually had the cultivation of the middle stage of the celestial bridge realm. This was already comparable to a proud son of heaven. Even Long Beachy was only at the completion of the celestial bridge realm. Boom, boom, boom. The two people's moves collided, and for a moment, they were actually evenly matched. At this moment, Master Blue Dragon's voice sounded in Xiao Chen's mind. Xiao Chun, there's no time to lose. Hurry up and find a way to take away the dragon bones. It will be bad if other people are attracted. The reason why Master Azure Dragon didn't make a move was because he couldn't. With his nascent divinity, quasi-supreme cultivation, the elders of the imperishable orthodoxies outside the supreme treasure will be able to sense his presence as soon as he made a move. Therefore, Xiao Chun could only rely on himself. All right, let's end this quickly. Xiao Chun made up his mind and roared into the sky. His entire body was surging with azure light. Then, under Long Beachy's slightly shocked gaze, Xiao Chen's body was covered with azure scales, and a pair of wings appeared on his back. It was as if he had transformed into a half-dragon. Xiao Chen's aura also skyrocketed to the consolidation realm. This is my Zulong's spell of dragon transformation in blue heaven. Where did you get it? Long Beachy was slightly stunned and could not believe it. She had never expected that a human brat could cultivate the spell of dragon transformation in blue heaven to such a level. There's more to come. Seeing Long Beachy's shocked expression, Xiao Chun felt a little proud. He threw out a punch, and hundreds of azure dragon light patterns spread out. The fist aura was astonishing. However, Long Beachy was not a pushover either. She had completely refined 2 dragon essences and was even stronger than Long Haoyan. Long Beachy waved her hand like a real dragon, swinging its tail, setting off a series of magic power runes. Xiao Chen's fist aura was also powerful, and the energy waves were shocking. The two parties were in a stalemate. This bitch is really in the way. Seeing that he could not completely suppress Long Beachy, Xiao Chen's face darkened. Just when the situation was in a stalemate, a stream of magic power suddenly shot toward them from not far away, cracking the ground along the way. Long Beachy was shocked when she sensed the sudden attack. She quickly dodged to the side, but her body was still grazed by the attack. She spat out a small mouthful of blood. Who is it? Long Beachy's eyes were burning with anger. A beautiful woman with limpid eyes and a white veil over her face appeared. Mingwei, it's you. Why are you here? Xiao Chun was pleasantly surprised. Wu Mingyue's appearance was completely out of Xiao Chen's expectation. Xiao Chun, are you all right? Wu Mingyue glanced at Xiao Chun with concern, then looked coldly at Long Beachy. Who are you? Long Beachy was alarmed. She could sense that this woman with a white veil was not an ordinary person, be it in terms of cultivation level or background. Leave. The things here are not for you to get your hands on. Wu Mingyue's tone was cold. She subtly exuded the aura of a princess of the Jin dynasty. How dare you interfere with Zulong's business? Long Beachy's eyes were cold. Zulong is indeed powerful, but so what? Wu Mingyue was not afraid at all. Seeing that Wu Mingyue was willing to go against Zulong for him, Xiao Chun was very touched. He swore that he would marry Wu Mingyue and cherish her. However, just when the atmosphere was getting tense, a voice with a cold tone rang out again. This dragon bone does not belong to Zulong or you too. It belongs to the Son of God. Hearing this voice, Long Beachy, Wu Mingyue, and Xiao Chen's expressions changed. A young man in silver armor showed up. He had a handsome face with crisscrossing scars. His temperament was as cold as ice. His whole body was surrounded by lightning runes. It was Jun Wanjie, the sequence 5 of the Jun family. Jun Wanjie, why are you here? Long Beachy's eyes widened in shock. Thanks to this little white mouse. Jun Wanjie looked at Xiao Chun with a cold and mocking look. Jun Xiaoyao had sent a telepathic message to Jun Wanjie, telling him to follow Xiao Chun in secret. Jun Wanjie was confused at first. He wondered what was the use of following an ordinary young man. But now, after seeing the 4 sets of dragon bones and the supreme ancestor dragon bone, Jun Wanjie was completely convinced by Jun Xiaoyao. Could it be that young master can predict the future? Otherwise, how could he know that this young man would have such an opportunity? Jun Wanjie sighed. But right now, the most important thing was to get the 5 sets of dragon bones. Seeing Jun Wanjie, Xiao Qin's face turned red. The veins on his temples were throbbing. He was so angry that he felt as if his organs were burning. There was no way he wouldn't know that he had fallen into Jun Xiaoyao's trap again. Thinking of this, Xiao Chun turned around and said to Wu Mingyue, "Mingyue, please help me suppress this man." The whole book. Chapter 61. Xiao Chun was so angry that his liver hurt. Jun Xiaoyao loomed over his head like a nightmare. However, this opportunity was too important to Xiao Chun. It was almost related to his future. The 4 ancient dragon skeletons were nothing, but Xiao Chun was determined to get the supreme ancestral dragon skeleton. With his own strength, it was almost impossible for him to take away the dragon bone under Jun Wanjie's nose. Therefore, Xiao Chun had no choice but to ask Wu Mingyue for help, no matter how unwilling he was. Wu Mingyue bit her lips. She was not afraid, even when facing Long Bichi from Zulong. However, she was hesitant when facing Jun Wanjie. There was no other reason than the fact that the Jun family was too powerful. As one of the 3 great families, the Jun family was even more powerful than Zulong in the Huangtian mystic realm. Wu Mingyue did not care about her own safety, but the consequences would be unimaginable if the Panwu Jin dynasty behind her were implicated. Mingyue. Xiao Chun was stunned when he saw Wu Mingyue's hesitation. Was the princess of the Panwu Jin dynasty so afraid of the Jun family? Was Jun Xiaoyao really that scary? Wu Mingyue could not bear to see Xiao Qin's tough face. She clenched her fists and made up her mind. "Okay, Xiao Chun, I will help you." Xiao Chun was pleasantly surprised when he heard Wu Mingyue's answer. As expected, Wu Mingyue cared about him a lot. You are." Jun Wanjie looked at Wu Mingyue, whose face was covered with a white veil, and frowned. He could feel that Wu Mingyue was not an ordinary person. The noble temperament she exuded was not something that a female cultivator from an ordinary forest could have. Xiao Qin calmed down with Wu Mingyue's help. He looked at Long Bichi from the corner of his eye and spoke again. "Dragon Girl, although we had some conflicts before, should we work together to suppress the sequence 5 of the Jun family first? As for the distribution of the 5 dragon skeletons, we can talk about it later." Xiao Chun was smart and calculating. He was still able to come up with a way to form alliances. "Join hand with you?" Long Bichi raised her eyebrows. "Hey, that's right. Don't you Zulong have a grudge against the Jun family as well? Are you willing to let the Jun family benefit from the conflict?" Xiao Chun asked patiently. Long Bichi thought for a moment, then nodded and said, "Well, let's deal with the sequence 5 of the Jun family first." After forming a united front, Xiao Chun, Wu Mingyue, and Long Bichi attacked Jun Wanjie without hesitation. Do you think I'm afraid of you?" As the 5th sequence of the Jun family who had climbed up from the bottom, Jun Wanjie was naturally arrogant. Other than Jun Xiaoyao, he would not submit to anyone else. 8 Thunder's prohibition, heavenly thunder eradication. Jun Wanjie's aura burst forth, and his dermic powers surged like thunder. His first move was an extreme move. However, Xiao Chun and the other 2 were no pushovers either. Azure Dragon Devour. Xiao Chun reached out his hands. Hundreds of azure dragon light patterns burst out and merged into a giant azure dragon head. The head opened its mouth and bit at Jun Wanjie. Wu Mingyue waved her hand. Her dermic powers burst forth and turned into thousands of streaks of dermic powers. Long Bichi flipped her hand and summoned a dragon-scaled whip. She lashed out the whip and cracked the void. Even Jun Wanjie frowned when he saw the 3 of them performing their moves at the same time. He was indeed powerful, but the 3 in front of him were not to be underestimated either. Xiao Chun was a leading figure with great luck. Wu Mingyue was the eldest princess of the Panwu Jin dynasty. Long Bichi was the daughter of the Tsang dragon in Zulong. All 3 of them were peerless geniuses. It would be difficult for an average person to deal with one of them, let alone 3 of them at the same time. Rumble. The battle broke out. Ripples of dermic powers spread out, and the entire karst cave rumbled. Jun Wanjie was forced to retreat. Blood trickled out from the corner of his mouth. He had not fully recovered from his injuries when he fought with Jun Xiaoyao in Nantian City. Facing 3 geniuses at the same time was stressful for him. Xiao Qin's eyes lit up. You're injured. It seems that the Jun family sequence is not invincible after all. Although he could not take revenge on Jun Xiaoyao for the time being, it would be nice to take revenge on the people around him. How dare you? The Jun family sequence is not someone you can criticize. Jun Wanji shouted. Lightning shot out from his eyes. He had activated his Thunder Calamity battle form. Boom! Endless lightning surrounded him. The power of the heavenly method of surviving calamity was also revealed. He has activated his Thunder Calamity battle form. Don't hold back. Long Beachy shouted. She gathered the dragon essence in her body and lashed out with her whip. A dragon's roar was heard, and the shadow of its song dragon rushed out. Sky-ripping hand of the azure dragon. Xiaoqian also performed his great skill. As for Wu Mingyue, she hesitated. This was because if she used the martial arts of the Panwu Celestial Dynasty, her protector would notice it and bring her back to the Panwu Celestial Dynasty. However, she thought about it and realized that the dragon bones were very important to Xiao Chun. In order to help Xiao Chun get the dragon bones, Wu Mingyue did not care about anything else. She waved her hand. It was as if she had thrown out thousands of palm strikes in an instant. The air trembled and a powerful force burst out. Is that the chaotic element loose hand of the Panwu Jin dynasty? Jun Wanjie was slightly surprised to see Wu Mingyue perform her unique skill. He had fought with the marquee champion, the genius of the Jin dynasty. That marquee champion had once used this primordial chaos scattered hands. Xiao Chun and the other 2 performed their great skills together. Even the best geniuses would have a hard time fighting against them. If Ji Xian were here, he would also be suppressed. With a loud crash, Jun Wanjie was forced to take dozens of steps back. His old wounds had not healed, and new ones were added to them. He finally could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. On the other side, Xiao Chun and the other 2 were also forced to retreat. There were burn marks on their bodies. He is so powerful. No wonder he is the Sequence 5 of the Jun family. Long Beachy was secretly shocked. Although Jun Wanjie wasn't as invincible as Jun Xiaoyao, who could defeat all his enemies, he couldn't be underestimated. The 3 of them could not suppress Jun Wanjie in a short time, even though they worked together. Xiao Qin's face was a little pale. He could not deal with Jun Xiaoyao, but now he could not even deal with Jun Wanjie. Seeing Xiao Qin's expression, Wu Mingyue bit her lip and said, Xiao Chun, I have a magic weapon that can trap Jun Wanjie for a short time. You can take the opportunity to get the dragon bones. Hearing Wu Mingyue's words, Xiao Qin's eyes lit up and he nodded heavily. With me, Jun Wanjie, here today, you can forget about getting the dragon bones of the Son of God. Jun Wanjie's face was cold, and his eyes were full of thunder. At this moment, Wu Mingyue's figure flashed, and she took out a golden rope. The rope twisted like a spirit snake, and with extreme speed, it coiled around Jun Wanjie's body and tied him up. What is this? Jun Wanjie tried to break free and burst out his thunder power. However, he found that his spiritual sea seemed to be suppressed by the rope and could not release his power. As the princess of the Panwu Jin dynasty, Wu Mingyue's magic weapon would not be simple. This golden rope was enough to bind Jun Wanjie for a short time. Xiao Chun, go get the dragon bones, Wu Mingyue said. On the other hand, Xiao Qin's face was gloomy. Then, his eyes became fierce and showed a hint of ruthlessness. He flapped the wings of the azure dragon on his back and flashed in front of Jun Wanjie, who was tied up. His arm, which had turned into the claw of the azure dragon, clawed at Jun Wanjie's head. Die, sequence of the Jun family. Xiao Qin's eyes were full of ruthlessness. Since he could not take revenge on Jun Xiaoyao for the time being, he would kill the people around him first. Looking at the descending azure dragon claw, Jun Wanjie's face became tense. He was not afraid. He was just regretful that he would never see his sister again in this life. Just as Jun Wanjie was about to die, a giant golden palm of dermic power came crashing down. With one slap, Xiao Chun, who was about to commit murder, was knocked to the ground and coughed up blood. At the same time, a cold voice with a hint of mockery was heard. Such a decisive and ruthless way of doing things. You do have the style of a protagonist, but unfortunately, you don't have the fate of a protagonist. Hearing this voice, Xiao Chen's pupils shrank. He felt as if he had fallen into an ice cave, and his whole body was cold. The whole book. Chapter 62. The situation had changed many times in just a few breaths. Even Wu Mingwei didn't expect that Xiao Chan would choose to kill Jun Wanjie in the first place. Jun Wanjie was a genius of the Jun family. If one of them died, the entire Huangtian mystic realm would be shaken. Furthermore, if Jun Wanjie had died in a normal battle, the Jun family might not have been so furious. But now, Jun Wanjie was tied up with a golden rope. If he died, not only would Xiao Chun be finished, even Wu Mingwei and the Panwu celestial dynasty behind her would be implicated. Wu Mingwei didn't expect Xiao Chun to be so impulsive and reckless. She also didn't expect that the handsome young man who always had a gentle smile on his face would have such a cruel side. However, before Wu Mingwei could come to her senses, she saw that Xiao Chun had been knocked to the ground. She also heard the voice at the same time. Could it be that the one from a Jun family is here? Wu Mingwei's eyes trembled as she looked over. A white-robed figure shrouded in celestial light slowly walked over. He was handsome and had a celestial body. It was as if he had been sculpted by the hands of the heavens. He was the most perfect being. Who else could it be but Jun Xiaoyao? It's Jun Xiaoyao. Long Bichi's face tightened as she became extremely alert. Wu Mingwei also took a deep breath. She didn't expect that it was really the son of God of the Jun family. Young master. Jun Wanjie's face was filled with joy. He had secretly sent a message to Jun Xiaoyao when he saw the dragon bones. Jun Xiaoyao naturally knew the location and came over alone. He didn't expect to see Xiao Chun committing a crime. Jun Xiaoyao, Xiao Chun, who had been knocked to the ground, stood up and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. His face was ferocious, as if he had met his destined enemy. Everyone could feel the hatred and anger in his eyes. Seeing this, Wu Mingwei was shocked. She recalled the past that Xiao Chun had told her before. Xiao Chun, could your enemy be the son of God of the Jun family? Wu Mingwei couldn't help but ask. Who else could it be but him? I, Xiao Chun, have sworn that I will avenge the 3-year agreement. Xiao Chun shouted coldly. He was no longer the weak and wretched youth from before. He now had the confidence to face Jun Xiaoyao. Of course, the safest way was to refine the supreme ancestral dragon bone before fighting Jun Xiaoyao. But now, it seemed like there was no chance. Hearing Xiao Chen's words, Wu Mingwei's mind went blank, and her face paled instantly. She had been thinking that if she were to run into Xiao Chen's nemesis, she would not mind helping Xiao Chun get rid of him. As the eldest princess of the Panwu Jin dynasty, there were few people and forces in the Huangtian mystic realm that could make her wary. As long as she moved her mouth, a large force could be easily destroyed. But now, Xiao Chen's nemesis had appeared. Could Wu Mingwei get rid of him? It was not a question of whether or not she could get rid of him. That was an impossible question from the start. She was only the eldest princess of the Panwu Jin dynasty. Even the real master of the Jin dynasty, the supreme lord of the Panwu Jin dynasty, would not dare to make a move against Jun Xiaoyao. The great ancestors buried in the ancestral hall of the Jun family were not incompetent. One of the 18th ancestors was enough to intimidate half of the Huangtian mystic realm. How could it be? Why him? Wu Mingwei suddenly felt a strong sense of powerlessness. To be able to make the eldest princess of the immortal Jin dynasty feel so powerless, it was obvious that Jun Xiaoyao's identity was the most honorable in the entire Huangtian mystic realm. Jun Xiaoyao did not care much about Xiao Chun. His eyes fell on the 5 dragon bones. Jun Xiaoyao only glanced at the 4 ancient dragon bones. His eyes fell on the supreme ancestral dragon bone. Not bad. The supreme ancestral dragon bone has the bloodline of the supreme ancestral dragon. Even in the Zulong, there are only a few of them. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly, showing a satisfied look. Xiao Chun was indeed his lucky star. Jun Xiaoyao, you knew that I had entered the supreme treasure of Yuan-Tian all along. Xiao Chun gritted his teeth, his eyes red. What do you think? Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a smile. But you didn't make a move at that time, just to let me find the opportunity and then take advantage of it behind my back. Xiao Chen's face became extremely ugly. It seems that you're not too stupid, Jun Xiaoyao said. Jun Xiaoyao. Xiao Chun was furious. He let out a long roar and fully activated his strength. Azure Dragon Demon Suppression. Xiao Chun formed a seal with his hands and pushed it forward. A shadow of an azure dragon appeared, connected head to tail and coiled together. It was like a mountain of azure dragons, pressing down on Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were indifferent. He raised his hand and threw a simple punch. The golden fist landed directly on the green dragon mountain and shattered it with a single blow. Xiao Chen saw this, and his face turned pale again. He could not believe it. This was the ultimate magic of his spell of dragon transformation in blue heaven, but it was shattered by Jun Xiaoyao with a single punch. Xiao Chun, stop lying to yourself. You know that you can only look up to the Son of God for the rest of your life. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand again as he spoke, pressing down on Xiao Chun. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao make a move, Xiao Chen's hair stood on end. He hurriedly performed a defensive technique, immovable azure dragon bell. In an instant, an illusory giant bell branded with azure dragon patterns covered his body. Ridiculous. Jun Xiaoyao added the strength of 70,000 particles of the giant elephant, and 700 million pounds of divine power came down on Xiao Chun. Boom! Dust flew everywhere, and the sound of blood was heard. Xiao Chun. Seeing this, Wu Mingyue's expression changed. As the dust settled, Xiao Chen's figure was revealed. The immovable azure dragon bell that he had performed could not stop Jun Xiaoyao's palm at all. At this moment, Xiao Chun was lying in the cracks of the pit. The azure scales all over his body were shattered, and blood was flowing everywhere. God knew how many of his bones were broken. Fortunately, the spell of dragon transformation in blue heaven greatly strengthened the physical body, so Xiao Chun was not killed by the palm. But even if he was not dead, he was almost half dead. Long Bichi saw this, and her expression became even more serious. Jun Xiaoyao walked to Jun Wanjia and used his divine power to tear the golden rope away. This is a good treasure. Jun Xiaoyao held the golden rope and looked at it. Wu Mingwa landed beside Xiao Chun and helped him up. Her face was full of worry and concern. Jun Xiaoyao watched this scene with great interest. Young master, that woman is performing the martial arts of the Jin dynasty upon Wu, Jun Wanjia said. Oh, the Jin dynasty upon Wu. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes lit up, and then a playful look appeared on his face. He did not forget that he still had a check-in task in the Panwu Jin dynasty of Panwu. And if he wanted to awaken the second sacred body vision quickly, he would have to go to Panwu as well. However, before dealing with Xiao Chun and this woman, Jun Xiaoyao still had to take care of a small problem. He turned to look at Long Bichi, who was wearing a gloomy expression. Long Bichi, why are you still standing here like an idiot? Are you tired of living? The whole book. Chapter 63. Hearing Jun Xiaoyao's words, Long Bichi's face turned pale. She trembled with anger. After all, she was the dragon princess of the Tsang dragon clan in Zulong. Nobody had ever talked to her with such an attitude before. If it were someone else, Long Bichi would have lashed out with her whip. But now, looking at the peerless figure shrouded in the divine light, Long Bichi was filled with fear. She even felt fear. That was right. Long Bichi couldn't imagine that she would be scared before the battle. Jun Xiaoyao frowned when he saw that Long Bichi didn't respond. He didn't ask Long Bichi to get lost out of kindness. He just didn't want to deal with her because he had more important things to do. But since Long Bichi didn't want to leave, Jun Xiaoyao had to take care of her. He performed the human sovereign Madra and launched an attack. In an instant, his magic power surged. The Madra shook the world and cracked the earth. Long Bichi's expression changed. She hurried to defend herself. Boom. Puff. Long Beachy's face turned pale. She spat out a mouthful of blood. She was blown away and crashed into a mountain wall. Cracks spread all around her. You don't know what's good for you. Jun Xiaoyao looked indifferent. Long Beachy kept coughing up blood. Her eyes were filled with fear. She couldn't even block one attack from Jun Xiaoyao. Let's go. Long Beachy trembled. She didn't dare to stay any longer. She was sure that she wouldn't be able to walk out of the secret treasure of Yuan Tian if she stayed any longer. She had some protective items with her, and there were guardian elders outside. But Long Beachy still didn't feel safe. No one would feel safe if they were to stand against Jun Xiaoyao. Long Beachy ran away without hesitation. She hated that her parents didn't give birth to her with 2 more legs. The Dragon Princess of Zulong was so scared. Many people will be shocked if they knew about it. Wu Mingwei and Xiao Chen's hearts sank when they saw Long Beachy leaving. They knew that Jun Xiaoyao didn't care about Long Beachy because he had his eyes on them. Son of God of the Jun family, what are you doing? Wu Mingwei stepped forward and stood in front of Xiao Chun. She sounded a little nervous. She was the eldest princess of the immortal Jin dynasty. Even if her face was covered with a white veil and her identity was hidden, the sense of nobility that came from her bones could not be erased. But now, in front of Jun Xiaoyao, Wu Mingwei couldn't bring herself to be arrogant. She felt as if she was a mortal girl who had seen a true immortal. What are you doing? Jun Xiaoyao tilted his head slightly and looked at Wu Mingwei with great interest. It felt as if he wasn't looking at a woman. It was more like he was looking at a tall man, being stared at by Jun Xiaoyao's deep gaze. Wu Mingwei felt as if her entire body was being seen through. Son of God of the Jun family is so scary. Wu Mingwei felt a chill in her heart. Take off your veil. I, the son of God, don't like people hiding in front of me, Jun Xiaoyao said coldly. It was a completely commanding tone. You. After all, Wu Mingwei was the eldest princess of the Jin dynasty. She still had her bottom line. Jun Xiaoyao's tone and attitude made him sound like a servant. What? Do you want me to do it myself? It won't be as simple as taking off your veil, Jun Xiaoyao said coldly. Wu Mingwei bit her lip and thought of Long Beachy, who had been sent flying by his attack. Although she was powerful, she couldn't be much stronger than Long Beachy. Thinking of this, Wu Mingwei held back her humiliation and took off the veil on her face. In an instant, a breathtakingly beautiful face appeared in front of Jun Xiaoyao. Her eyes were like autumn water, her eyebrows were like ink, her skin was smooth, and her teeth were like seashells. She was indeed a woman of peerless beauty. Jun Xiaoyao's expression didn't change. He said indifferently, "So you are a beauty. No wonder Xiao Chun is so infatuated with you. Son of God of the Jun family, don't insult me. Xiao Chun is not nice to me because of my appearance," Wu Mingwei said coldly. She wouldn't allow anyone to blaspheme her feelings. Oh, Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly and walked up slowly. Although he didn't release any energy, Wu Mingwei felt a little breathless because of his superior temperament. Jun Xiaoyao walked up to Wu Mingwei and pinched her jade-like chin. Xiao Chun is just lusting after your body and using the power behind you to deal with me. Jun Xiaoyao, shut up. Xiao Chun shouted at Jun Xiaoyao when he heard what Jun Xiaoyao said. However, there was a guilty look in his eyes. He really did like Wu Mingwei. However, there were also some other thoughts in his mind. Jun Xiaoyao hit the nail on the head with his words. Shut up. Jun Xiaoyao slapped Xiao Chun and sent him to the ground again. He coughed up blood and was unable to fight back. Jun Xiaoyao, stop it. Wu Mingwei's face was pale. She couldn't break free from Jun Xiaoyao's grip on her chin. Xiao Chun was lying in a pool of blood. He was furious when he saw Jun Xiaoyao blaspheming the goddess of his heart. Xiao Chun didn't even touch Wu Mingwei's finger. Although he wanted to touch her, he knew that Wu Mingwei was the princess of the Jin dynasty. She was not a casual woman, so he held back. However, Jun Xiaoyao was now holding Wu Mingwei's chin with a playful look on his face. It was as if he was appreciating a rare masterpiece. No man would be able to accept this. Great ancestor, I beg you to kill Jun Xiaoyao, Xiao Chun screamed in his mind. However, Master Blue Dragon didn't respond. He was like a stone sinking into the ocean. What a joke. Master Blue Dragon wouldn't dare to show up. If the elders of the June family found out, the consequences would be unimaginable. Even if he was a quasi-supreme primordial spirit, he would be thrown into the soul-refining tower and suffer a fate worse than death. Seeing that Master Blue Dragon didn't respond, Xiao Chun was even more anxious and angry. Jun Xiaoyao looked at Xiao Chun and said, "Xiao Chun, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You gave me a fiancé and dragon chi the first time, and now you've given me a beauty and 5 dragon skeletons. I really don't know how to thank you." Jun Xiaoyao was sincere. He didn't even want to kill Xiao Chun. "Jun Xiaoyao, you. Xiao Chun was so angry that his face turned green and his body trembled. It was as if he had been stripped naked and thrown into a cold spring. It was cold to the bone. Oh! Xiao Chun was so infuriated that he roared at the sky. His blood rushed to his head, and he passed out again. Xiao Chun. Wu Mingwei got rid of Jun Xiaoyao and hurriedly checked on Xiao Chun. After finding that he was still alive, she was slightly relieved. However, her face was still serious. "Son of God of the Jun family, what do you want? If you want the dragon skeletons, I'll give them to you," Wu Mingyue said with a tense face. "If I'm not mistaken, you should be the eldest princess of the Panwu Jin dynasty." Wu Mingyue, Jun Xiaoyao said calmly with his hands behind his back. "That's right." At this point, there was nothing to hide, so Wu Mingyue admitted it. In her opinion, if she revealed her identity now, Jun Xiaoyao might be more cautious. However, Jun Xiaoyao's expression didn't change at all. It was as if the identity of the eldest princess of the Jin dynasty was nothing to him. "You've seen how much Xiao Chun hates me. Do you have a problem with me killing him?" Jun Xiaoyao's voice suddenly became cold. "No, you can't kill him." Wu Mingyue's expression changed immediately. Jun Xiaoyao ignored Wu Mingyue and reached out to grab Xiao Chun. Wu Mingyue's body burst with magical power, trying to block it. "How dare you protect him? What eldest princess of the Jin dynasty? Kneel down before the Son of God." Jun Xiaoyao's golden spirit ocean rippled. 700 million caddies of divine power surged out like an ancient divine elephant crushing down. With a splat, Wu Mingyue was directly forced to kneel on the ground. She coughed up blood from the corner of her mouth, staining her silk dress red. The eldest princess of the immortal Jin dynasty was kneeling before Jun Xiaoyao at this moment. She was like a mortal girl kneeling before a banished immortal. The whole book. Chapter 64. That scene was not seen by the outside world, but one could imagine how many people would be stunned if the news were spread. Wu Mingyue could be said to be one of the most distinguished people among the younger generation in the Huangtian mystic realm. Wherever she went, she was the center of attention. She could destroy a top orthodoxy with a single sentence. At that moment, the noble and lofty princess of the divine dynasty was coughing up blood at the corner of her mouth as she knelt before Jun Xiaoyao. That scene was unimaginable. Jun Xiaoyao. Wu Mingyue struggled and burst out the power of the spiritual ocean in her body, but she was suppressed by Jun Xiaoyao and could not get up. The golden elephant shadow seemed to be able to suppress thousands of worlds and trample the universe under its feet. Jun Xiaoyao stood in the elephant shadow with his hands behind his back, like a god who ruled the world. A sense of humiliation and despair spread in Wu Mingyue's heart. She had never thought that she would be in such a sorry and humiliated state. "Wu Mingyue, don't use your identity as the princess of the Jin dynasty to oppress others. If it were someone else, they might be afraid, but for the Son of God..." Jun Xiaoyao did not say much. However, the word had expressed his disdain and contempt to the fullest. Jun Xiaoyao had never been inferior to anyone when it came to status and background. His father's family, the Jun family of the ancients. His mother's family, the Jiang family of the ancients. He was the young master of the 2 great families of the ancients. Who else could it be? Wu Mingyue bit her red lips. She did not expect that Jun Xiaoyao was not afraid of the Panwu Jin dynasty at all. He did not care that she was a woman of unparalleled beauty. It seemed that in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes, Wu Mingyue was no different from village girl. Wu Mingyue felt helpless at the thought. She did not even have the right to negotiate with Jun Xiaoyao. Wu Mingwei took a deep breath and tried her best to calm down. She then said in a calm tone, Jun Xiaoyao, just tell me, what do I have to do to make you let Xiao Qin go? Oh, you really won't protect him? Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows slightly. Even though he looked surprised, he was sneering coldly in his heart. Sure enough, Wu Mingwei fell into the trap he had set up. State your conditions, Wu Mingwei said coldly. To be honest, I, the son of God, am kind and generous. I'm definitely not a devil. It's not impossible for me to let Xiao Qin go. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. Hearing this, Wu Mingwei was slightly stunned. Kind personality? Treating others with generosity? Wu Mingwei gritted her teeth as she looked at Xiao Qin lying in a pool of his own blood. She wanted nothing more than to bite Jun Xiaoyao right there and then. Just state your conditions. There's no need to beat around the bush, Wu Mingwei said coldly. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Wu Mingwei's delicate body. She was wearing a snow-white silk dress that outlined her slender and graceful curves. Unlike Jiang Luoli, who had short legs and a flat body, Wu Mingwei's body was slender and well-proportioned. Coupled with her snow-white beauty, she was indeed worthy of her identity as the princess of the Jin dynasty. Jun Xiaoyao's gaze caused goosebumps to appear all over Wu Mingwei's snow-white skin. She couldn't help but cover her chest with her jade-like arms and frown. Jun Xiaoyao, don't you dare ask for outrageous terms. There's no way I'll agree to them. Hee, why are you princesses and princesses so narcissistic? Do I, the son of God, need your body? Jun Xiaoyao shook his head and said, Bai Yu, the princess of the ancient kingdom of Phoenix, was like that. So was the eldest princess of a Jin dynasty. She was really spoiled in the palace. Hearing Jun Xiaoyao's words, Wu Mingwei's expression became slightly unnatural. Indeed, with Jun Xiaoyao's looks and status, even the prides of the immortal orthodoxies would be happy to marry him. I, the son of God, only have one condition. Open the sacred palace and let me plant a slave seal, Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. It was almost impossible to plant a slave seal unless she was willing. Jun Xiaoyao's words made Wu Mingwei's body tremble, and her face turned pale. Plant a slave seal? Wu Mingwei could not believe it. Jun Xiaoyao wanted to enslave her. Jun Xiaoyao, your condition is too much. Wu Mingwei's face turned from white to green. She was obviously angry. She was the princess of the immortal Jin dynasty. How could she be enslaved by someone else? If word got out, it would be a big scandal. The entire Panwu Jin dynasty would be humiliated. Do you think you are still in a position to bargain with me? Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand again and slapped at the unconscious Xiao Qin. Stop, Wu Mingwei said in a trembling voice. Jun Xiaoyao stopped and looked at Wu Mingwei. Wu Mingwei was struggling in her heart. Then, as if she had thought of something, her chest rose and fell. She said, Okay, I agree. Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a cold smile. Wu Mingwei, if you dare to play any tricks, I, the son of God, will immediately take Xiao Qin's life. He could see that Wu Mingwei had agreed so easily. She must have some tricks up her sleeve. As a princess, she must have something to protect the sacred palace in her mind. Jun Xiaoyao's words directly exposed Wu Mingwei's thoughts. Her face was as pale as paper, and her eyes were trembling. Jun Xiaoyao was the devil. After an extreme struggle, Wu Mingwei completely surrendered. She couldn't just watch Xiao Qin be killed by Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao, I can open the sacred palace, but you must swear on your path heart that you must let Xiao Qin go and spare his life, Wu Mingwei said in a firm tone. Jun Xiaoyao smiled and said, I, the son of God, swear on my path heart. If I violate it, my path heart will collapse, and heaven and earth will punish me. Swearing on one's path heart was a very strict oath. If one violated it, there would be very serious consequences. However, to Jun Xiaoyao, such a vow of the path was nothing. He had the help of the system, and he was destined to rise and dominate this era. When that time came, even the heavens would be under his feet. Heaven and earth would punish him? That was ridiculous. But of course, Wu Mingyue didn't know Jun Xiaoyao's ability. Seeing him swear, she opened the sacred palace. Ah, you are so devoted. Even I, the son of God, am touched. Jun Xiaoyao sighed and planted a slave seal in Wu Mingyue's sacred palace without hesitation. At this point, Wu Mingyue became Jun Xiaoyao's slave. Jun Xiaoyao, you have the face of a banished immortal, but the heart of a demon. Wu Mingyue was so angry that her delicate body trembled. Pay attention to your current status and attitude. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were cold as he slightly activated the slave seal. Wu Mingyue's face was pale, and she had a splitting headache. She immediately knelt on the ground, her delicate body trembling. A strong sense of humiliation pervaded the bottom of her heart. Jun Xiaoyao's face was indifferent. He waved his hand and put the 5 dragon skeletons into his bag. Jun Xiaoyao looked at the unconscious Xiao Chun and then looked at Wu Mingyue, whose face was full of humiliation. A strange smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. A new trap had been laid, and this time, the center of the trap was Wu Mingyue. The target of the trap was the Panwu Jin dynasty. They say that women in love are brainless. Wu Mingyue is a classic example. For an ant that is destined to die, you are willing to be enslaved by me. But this is also good. It suits me. In the future, I can plot against the Panwu Jin dynasty. Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a smile. Everything was under his control. All right, it's time to harvest another leek. Ji Xian, the complete book. Chapter 65. After collecting the dragon bones and dealing with Xiao Chun and Wu Mingyue, Jun Xiaoyao was ready to leave. He had already set up a trap for the Jin dynasty, and there would be opportunities to harvest in the future. Next, Jun Xiaoyao paid attention to another leek, which was Ji Xian. Ji Xian definitely knew some secrets of the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian. Wu Mingyue, take good care of Xiao Chun and take him away. Don't let him die, Jun Xiaoyao said with a playful expression. After saying that, he turned around and left. Jun Wanjie followed closely behind. Jun Xiaoyao's words made Wu Mingyue clench her jade-like hands. Not only did he humiliate Xiao Chun, but he also ridiculed him. Jun Xiaoyao was an old eunuch. Young master, are you really going to let Xiao Chun go? Although he is just an ant in your eyes, he is still a small problem, Jun Wanjie said. He was very loyal to Jun Xiaoyao now. I have my own plans for this person. When the time comes, I will kill him, Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. Swearing by the Taoist heart was useless to him. He could kill Xiao Chun if he wanted to. However, Jun Xiaoyao had a vague feeling that Xiao Chun seemed to bring him a big surprise. That surprise was probably bigger than Wu Mingyue and the 5 dragon bones. That was why Jun Xiaoyao was willing to let Xiao Chun go. If Xiao Chun was really worthless, he would kill Xiao Chun even if Wu Mingyue was in his way. On the other side, after Jun Xiaoyao left, Wu Mingyue gave the unconscious Xiao Chun a lot of healing medicine. Soon, Xiao Chun slowly woke up. After he woke up, Xiao Chun's body suddenly trembled, and a deep-seated hatred appeared on his face. He looked around and said, "Where is Jun Xiaoyao?" Xiao Chun, calm down first. Jun Xiaoyao has already left, Wu Mingyue said in a concerned tone. Left? He didn't kill me? Xiao Chun looked surprised. Then, as if he had thought of something, he looked back. Xiao Chun's blood rushed to his head when he saw the empty cave, and his face turned livid. The dragon bones were gone. Not only was the supreme ancestral dragon bone gone, even the 4 ancient dragon skeletons were gone. This Jun Xiaoyao did not leave any leftovers for him. Pucci. Xiao Chun was so angry that his injuries, which had just been suppressed by the healing pills, flared up again, causing him to spit out a mouthful of blood. Xiao Chun, don't worry. Where there's life, there's hope, Wu Mingyue consoled. Xiao Chun's face turned pale. His mind was buzzing, and the blood in his chest was boiling. Jun Xiaoyao had first taken away his dragon chi, and now he had taken away his 5 dragon skeletons. Xiao Chun felt that he was just a gift to the rich. However, that Jun Xiaoyao is such a vicious person. Why would he let me go? Xiao Chun thought. He suddenly turned to Wu Mingyue and said anxiously, Mingyue, That Jun Xiaoyao didn't do anything to you, did he? How'd he leave? Xiao Chun was nervous, fearing that something had happened between Wu Mingyue and Jun Xiaoyao. If Wu Mingyue was the same as Bai Yuer, then Xiao Chun would definitely be driven to the brink of insanity. Wu Mingyue bit her lip. The fact that she had been planted with a slave mark and became Jun Xiaoyao's slave was a scandal. How could it be leaked? If that happened, not only would her reputation be damaged, but also the reputation of the Panwu Jin dynasty. No, he didn't. He only let you go because I threatened him with the Panwu Jin dynasty, Wu Mingyue said with a forced smile. However, she felt extremely bitter inside, because she was already Jun Xiaoyao's slave. However, she was willing to do that in order to keep Xiao Chun alive. Phew, that's good. That Jun Xiaoyao is not afraid of anything, but he is still afraid of my Mingyue. Xiao Chun let out a long sigh of relief. The frustration and anger in his heart had also subsided. At least with Wu Mingyue around, Jun Xiaoyao would not dare to do anything to him. Wu Mingyue felt even more ashamed after hearing that. Xiao Chun, I may not be able to stay by your side from now on. Wu Mingyue showed a hint of reluctance. What? Xiao Chun was shocked and hurriedly asked. That guardian of mine will probably come looking for me soon. I have to go back and complete the selection of the prince consort, Wu Mingyue said sadly. That was why she had chosen to run away from home. However, when she performed the martial arts of the Panwu celestial dynasty, the protector must have sensed her presence. Mingyue, you are my woman. I will not let anyone else touch you. When the Panwu Jin dynasty selects its prince consort, I will go and marry you openly. Xiao Chen's face was filled with excitement as blood rushed to his head. Wu Mingyue was already his exclusive possession in his heart. He would not give her to another man. Moreover, Xiao Chun had another plan in mind. If he could become the prince consort of the Panwu Jin dynasty, he would have the power to compete with Jun Xiaoyao. With this level of power and the nurturing of the Panwu Jin dynasty, Xiao Chun believed that he could catch up to Jun Xiaoyao. Xiao Chun. Wu Mingyue's bright eyes showed that she was touched. However, when she thought of the slave mark that Jun Xiaoyao had planted in her, Wu Mingyue's heart was covered with a layer of shadow. That Jun Xiaoyao would not do anything stupid when the time came. Deep in the secret treasure of Yuan Tian, there were a few ancient teleportation formations everywhere. In front of one of the ancient teleportation formations, a figure quietly arrived. He was wearing a long golden robe. His face was handsome, and he looked like a phoenix. There was a faint divine light on his right arm, and runes were scattered, exuding a sacred and powerful aura. It was Ji Xian, the junior saint of the Ji family. I finally made it here. Now, only those who have the supreme token of Yuan Tian can use this ancient formation to teleport to the depths of the treasure and obtain the greatest opportunity, Ji Xian murmured. Ji Xian murmured and took out a supreme token of Yuan Tian. In an instant, runes began to rise and flash on the ancient formation. The void was slightly distorted. In the next moment, Ji Xian disappeared on the spot and was teleported to the depths of the treasure. After he was teleported, two figures emerged from the darkness behind him. They were Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang. Jun Xuehuang's beautiful eyes flashed. She said, Zhangjian, I'll teleport in first and follow Ji Xian. You send a message to the Son of God and ask him to come. Okay. Jun Zhangjian nodded slightly. Jun Xuehuang walked lightly and landed on the formation. She also took out a supreme token of Yuan Tian. The void rippled, and she disappeared on the spot. Jun Zhangjian, on the other hand, took out a communication jade slip. On the other side, Jiang Shengyi and the nine-headed lion were looking for opportunities in a dilapidated palace. Master hasn't arrived yet, the nine-headed lion said, wagging its tail. It had completely adapted to being Jun Xiaoyao's mount. Xiaoyao said he went to harvest chives. What does that mean? Jiang Shengyi was puzzled. Ahem, Goddess Jiang, you may not know this, but the chives have an important effect on male creatures, which is to strengthen. The nine-headed lion coughed dryly and revealed a wretched smile. It was usually majestic and domineering, but now it had revealed its beastly nature. Strengthen what? A gentle and calm voice sounded. Hearing this voice, the nine-headed lion instinctively bristled. It shrank its head and laughed dryly. No, nothing. Master is here. Not far away, two figures appeared. They were Jun Xiaoyao and Jun Wanjie. Jiang Xingyi tilted her head slightly and asked innocently, Xiaoyao, when you said harvest chives, do you mean to eat them? Is it good for your body? Her expression was so innocent that no one could bear to tell her the truth. Looking at Jiang Xingyi's innocent expression, Jun Xiaoyao was slightly speechless. Ahem. This lion is talking nonsense. Jun Xiaoyao coughed dryly. It was better not to let his aunt know about this kind of strange knowledge. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao suddenly sensed something. He took out a communication jade slip and smiled faintly again. More chives are harvested. The full text. Chapter 66. The depths of the secret treasure of Yuan Tian were filled with thick gray fog. The dead silence seemed to have frozen for eternity. And in this dead silence, a figure shrouded in golden light appeared here. It was Ji Xian. Although there had been some changes in the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian, Ji Xian was not afraid. He had a deeper understanding of this treasure than others. Not to mention, he had accidentally found an ancient talisman in a library of the Holy Spirit College, which was related to the supreme treasure. In addition, as the pride of the Ji family, Ji Xian naturally had treasures to protect himself and escape. If there was no other way, he could directly use the great teleportation talisman to leave. Although he might lose the opportunity, he could still save his life. Ji Xian really couldn't imagine what kind of danger he would be in with so many means. Therefore, Ji Xian could be said to have a card up his sleeve and was very confident in himself. The supreme treasure of Yuan Tian was extremely powerful. He once caused havoc in Zulong and tore apart the supreme treasure of Wan Wang's Spirit Mountain. Almost no one dared to provoke him. But in the end, he died and left the stage of history. Rumor has it that before he died, he went to a foreign land and seemed to have brought back a rare item. If I can get that treasure, I might be able to create an invincible supreme treasure. Ji Xian muttered to himself as he walked. This information was recorded in the ancient books. Although Ji Xian couldn't judge whether it was true or not, he felt that it was most likely true with this ancient talisman. At this moment, Ji Xian suddenly stopped. There was an inexplicable expression on his face. Then, he turned his head and glanced at the depths of the darkness behind him. There was dead silence there. Ji Xian's lips curled into a sneer. He raised his right hand and pressed toward the depths of the darkness. In an instant, divine light erupted and runes scattered. The dazzling giant hand of magical power seemed to be able to destroy everything. This was the power of the Saint King's handbone. Boom! The darkness was illuminated, and there was a great tremor. A figure flashed out, and a burst of cold air seemed to freeze the void. It was Jun Xiaohuang. I was wondering why I felt that someone had been following me. So it's you, Jun Xiaohuang. Ji Xian's expression was calm and cold. What did you find out? Jun Xiaohuang frowned. However, even though she was discovered by Ji Xian, she was still very calm and did not panic at all. Heh, I've long discovered it, but I didn't reveal it. But I didn't expect you to follow me all the way here. Ji Xian's tone was indifferent. So what do you want now? Jun Xiaohuang stood tall and straight, her figure graceful and elegant. Her icy blue eyes were extremely calm, without any ripples of emotion. If it were anyone else, if they were discovered following Ji Xian, they would definitely be terrified. However, Jun Xiaohuang was the seventh sequence of the Jun family. She had the confidence to confront Ji Xian. What do I want? Hee, I didn't want to have any conflict with your Jun family, but your actions have gone too far. Ji Xian's face suddenly darkened. He stretched out his hand and attacked Jun Xiaohuang. He didn't want to start a conflict with the Jun family. After all, Jun Xiaoyao's reputation was too great. It was impossible to say that they were not afraid of him at all. But now, the Jun family was obviously going to follow behind him and take advantage of him. If Ji Xian still avoided it, he would really be a coward. In terms of background, the Ji family was not much weaker than the Jun family. Therefore, Ji Xian did not hesitate and directly attacked. Jun Xuehuang raised her eyebrows and also counterattacked. It had to be said that Ji Xian's right arm, which had fused with the Saint King's hand bone, was really sacred and extraordinary. That aura could even help Ji Xian block the erosion of the gray fog. However, Jun Xuehuang was different. She still needed to divide a part of her strength to resist the erosion of the gray fog. This gray fog also had a faint suppressive force. Under these conditions, Jun Xuehuang's strength was weakened by at least 30 to 40%. As for Ji Xian, relying on the Saint King's hand bone, he was almost unaffected. Fist of the King. Ji Xian clenched the 5 fingers of his right arm and punched out. A king's will spread out, and the fist light was astonishing. Jun Xuehuang waved her hand, and a crystal-clear ice shield condensed in front of her. Boom! Accompanied by a cracking sound, the ice shield was directly broken. Jun Xuehuang's body was impacted, and she was forced to retreat. There was a trace of blood at the corner of her lips. Jun Xuehuang was injured. Jun Xuehuang, you are no match for me here. Also, tell Jun Xiaoyao not to have any ideas about me. Otherwise, be careful not to go for wool and come home shorn. Ji Xian's tone was indifferent. Jun Xuehuang's eyes were sharp. Are you threatening my son of God? You can think of it that way. Ji Xian's tone was indifferent. He had the ancient talisman, the supreme treasure of Yuan Tian, and it was his home ground. If Jun Xiaoyao dared to have any ideas about him, he would inevitably be taught a painful lesson. Seeing Jun Xuehuang's cold expression, Ji Xian frowned slightly. He did not want to be delayed by Jun Xuehuang. Thinking of this, Ji Xian looked around from the corner of his eyes. He found that in the depths of the darkness, there were many dark, mottled coffins. Ji Xian remembered the records in the ancient books that there were likely to be evil things that were contaminated by the gray fog. Thinking of this, Ji Xian made his move. His target was not Jun Xuehuang, but the coffins. Rumble. Ji Xian blasted out with his palm, as if the sky was falling and the earth was cracking. Those coffins were all shattered, and billowing black gas surged out. Then, decaying demon corpses covered with black hair appeared one after another. Ji Xian directly took out the ancient talisman he had obtained. It looked simple and dark, and there were complicated runes engraved on it. When the black-haired demon corpses saw the ancient talisman, they seemed to be afraid and did not dare to approach it. Instead, they targeted Jun Xuehuang. Ji Xianyu. Jun Xuehuang was angry, and her face turned pale. She did not expect Ji Xian to use such a method. Haha, Jun Xuehuang, I didn't kill you. Whether you can survive or not is up to you. Ji Xian smiled, turned around, and left. Looking at Ji Xian's back in the darkness, Jun Xuehuang's face was a little pale. Although the demon corpses had decayed over time and were far more powerful than when they were alive, they were still not something that Jun Xuehuang could deal with alone. Roar! The demon corpse let out a ghostly howl and pounced towards Jun Xuehuang. Jun Xuehuang could only fight and retreat. On the other side, Jun Xiaoyao, who had received Jun Zhangjin's message, also went to meet up with Jiang Xingyi and Jun Wanjie. As for the 9-headed lion and Jun Linglong, because they did not have the supreme token of Yuan Tian, they could not enter the depths of the secret treasure. They could only look for other opportunities in the outer layer. Not long after, Jun Xiaoyao came in front of an ancient teleportation formation. Jun Zhangjin was already waiting there. When he saw Jun Xiaoyao, his eyes lit up. He stepped forward and clasped his fists. Son of God, you are here. Where is Jun Xuehuang? Jun Xiaoyao asked. She went to follow Ji Xian alone. She asked me to help Son of God here, Jun Zhangjin said. Hearing this, Jun Xiaoyao frowned. Ji Xian must have some plans for the secret treasure of Yuan Tian. It is impossible that he did not prepare. Jun Xuehuang will be at a disadvantage if she is careless. Jun Xiaoyao's tone was a little heavy. Then, he waved his sleeves and stepped into the teleportation formation. On the one hand, he wanted to confirm Jun Xuehuang's situation. On the other hand, he wanted to see what kind of rewards he could get from signing in. The complete book. Chapter 67. Jun Xiaoyao, Jun Zhangjin, Jun Wanjie, and Jiang Xingyi each took out a supreme token of Yuan Tian. This kind of token could only be used by one person, so Jun Xiaoyao couldn't bring Jun Linglong and the nine-headed lion inside. Soon, the surrounding void distorted, and the four of them disappeared. When Jun Xiaoyao opened his eyes again, they had already arrived at the deepest part of the secret treasure of Yuantian. Heavy fog floated around them. The environment was extremely dark, and there was a sense of dread. It was as if everything around them had been contaminated and demonized. Is this the deepest part of the secret treasure of Yuantian? Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back, wearing a white robe. His entire body was shrouded in divine light, and golden divine light flickered. The sacred body of the ancients was invulnerable to all evil, so the gray fog didn't affect Jun Xiaoyao at all. Jiang Xingyi was surrounded by countless natural inscriptions in the void, which helped her resist the erosion of the gray fog. The innate Taoist embryo was an extremely rare and powerful constitution, which was not much weaker than the sacred body of the ancients. Jun Wanjie was surrounded by thunder and lightning, and the power of thunder and lightning also had a restraining effect on the gray fog. Jun Zhangjian was the only one who couldn't isolate himself from the gray fog, even though he had the indestructible sword body. He could only use his mana to isolate himself. Among the four of them, he was the most shabby one. Sigh, I feel too ordinary when I'm with the Son of God and the others. It's too difficult. Jun Zhangjian sighed in his heart. Jun Xiaoyao stood where he was, and the mechanical voice of the system sounded in his mind. Ding, you have arrived at the supreme treasure of Yuantian. Would you like to sign in? Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly when he heard the system's notification. As he expected, the check-in reward could only be triggered when he reached the deepest part of the treasure. Sign in, Jun Xiaoyao said in his heart. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 5-star award, the Sword of the Primitive Emperor. As soon as the system's voice faded away, a series of complex spells poured into Jun Xiaoyao's sea of consciousness. In his divine palace, there seemed to be a dazzling divine chain condensing. At the same time, Jun Xiaoyao seemed to see an illusory scene. A majestic golden figure stood between the heavens and the earth. At the center of his brows, there seemed to be a law of the way manifesting. After that, it transformed into a dazzling divine chain of order. The divine chain of order once again transformed into an inch-long golden dagger. Although it looked short, when the sword burst forth, heaven and earth turned upside down, and the universe collapsed. Mountains, rivers, lakes, seas, and everything else were instantly transformed into dust. The power that burst from the small golden sword was no weaker than the Jun family's immortal Slayer sword chant that the 18th ancestor had used before. 5-star reward, Origin Emperor Dao Sword. This was Jun Xiaoyao's gain from signing in this time. The Primitive Emperor's sword technique is the technique that made Yuan Tian Supreme famous. It is one of the 5 great divine arts, and is as famous as the Jun family's sword of the immortal Slayer. Jun Xiaoyao murmured in his heart. When the 18th ancestor taught him the sword of the immortal Slayer, he also mentioned the other 4 great divine arts. The Primitive Emperor's sword technique was one of them. This Primitive Emperor's sword technique was not a real sword. It was a divine chain of order that had the power to transform the way. It was mysterious, unpredictable, and powerful. Back then, Yuan Tian Supreme was able to break into Zulong to seize the dragon bone and step on Wang Wang's spirit mountain to slay the divine phoenix. To a large extent, it was because of this Primitive Emperor's sword technique. And this Primitive Emperor's sword technique became famous along with Yuan Tian Supreme. However, later on, after Yuan Tian Supreme fell, the Primitive Emperor's sword technique was also lost. Therefore, it became a great pity. Many old people in the mystic realm lamented that an invincible inheritance had been cut off. Unexpectedly, this inheritance that had been cut off was obtained by Jun Xiaoyao. 5-star reward, Jun Xiaoyao said in his heart. He was not disappointed. After all, a 5-star reward was not low. It was impossible to get 7-star or even 8-star rewards every time. Moreover, The power of the primitive emperor's sword technique did not disappoint Jun Xiaoyao. He could let this severed inheritance see the light of day again. Xiaoyao, what's wrong? Jiang Xingyi turned her head and looked at Jun Xiaoyao. From the beginning, Jun Xiaoyao had been standing on the spot in a daze. It's nothing. Jun Xiaoyao came back to his senses. In his divine palace, there was a divine chain of order lying. In the future, as long as it was nurtured, its power would become stronger and stronger. Jiang Xingyi took a deep look at Jun Xiaoyao. She had an innate Tao embryo and was very sensitive to various great Tao nomological laws and order rules. Just now, she seemed to have sensed that there seemed to be an extremely strong Tao rune between Jun Xiaoyao's eyebrows. However, Jiang Xingyi did not point it out. Everyone had their own secrets. This nephew of mine is really getting more and more mysterious. Jiang Xingyi thought to herself. At this moment, in the depths of the darkness ahead, waves of dermic power suddenly came, accompanied by a chill. It's Snow Phoenix. Something happened to her. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed, and he stepped into the air. Jiang Xingyi and the other two followed closely behind. Boom! A demon corpse slammed over, and Jun Xiaohuang was forced to retreat. Blood flowed from the corner of her mouth, and her aura was very unstable. Damn it, do I really have to leave like this? Jun Xiaohuang's chest rose and fell, and her expression was serious. She was not afraid of dying here. After all, she had the major shift talisman with her. If worst came to worst, she could just teleport away. However, Jun Xiaohuang had the pride of belonging to the Jun family sequence. Unless it was a matter of life and death, she really did not want to give up. At this moment, more than a dozen demon corpses surrounded and attacked at the same time. With this kind of encirclement, not to mention Celestial Bridge Realm or Consolidation Realm prodigies. Even if she was a Tao integration stage expert, she would probably be defeated. There's no other way. Jun Xiaohuang sighed deeply, and there was a hint of pity in her voice. However, she did it for Jun Xiaoyao, and she had no regrets. After all, Jun Xiaoyao had protected her in front of Long Haoyan. Just as Jun Xiaohuang was about to use the major shift talisman, a large golden hand with runes suddenly pushed over from afar. It was like the hand of an ancient god, but also like a golden divine grindstone that could crush heaven and earth. Wherever it passed, ruins collapsed and the earth cracked open. Rumble! A violent collision erupted, and a group of demon corpses was sent flying, their bodies disintegrating. Son of God! Jun Xiaohuang's beautiful ice-blue eyes were filled with surprise. She turned around and saw an otherworldly figure that looked like a white-robed immortal walking over. Jun Zhangjian and the other two were beside him. Jun Xiaoyao looked at Jun Xiaohuang, walked up to her, and said gently, "Sorry for being late." Son of God! Jun Xiaohuang heard this voice, and her heart trembled slightly. Jun Xiaoyao was cold and ruthless toward his enemies, like an Azura. However, he took good care of his family and tried his best to protect them. Thank you for your concern, son of God. The Snow Phoenix is fine, just a small injury. Jun Xiaohuang smiled. Jun Xiaoyao's apology and concern were more effective than any healing medicine, and Jun Xiaohuang felt warm in her heart. What's the situation? Tell me, Jun Xiaoyao said. At this moment, the demon corpses that had not disintegrated rushed over again. Jun Xiaoyao casually slapped them, and they were smashed into meat patties again. The golden magical power of the sacred body of the ancients was incomparably sacred, and it was also very effective against these demon corpses, so it could be easily dealt with. It's like this. Jun Xiaohuang also told him what had happened in detail. After listening, Jun Xiaoyao smiled. However, there was no warmth in that smile. Threatening me? When did a leak learn to threaten people? The whole book. Chapter 68. Jun Xiaoyao wasn't hostile to Ji Xian at first. Although Ji Xian had some conflicts with Jun Zhangjian, it wasn't a big deal. The most Jun Xiaoyao could do was to snatch Ji Xian's opportunity and the bone of the Saint King. That would have been more than enough. It wasn't a big deal. But now, Ji Xian didn't just threaten him. He also put Jun Huang in danger. Jun Xiaoyao wasn't a kind person, and he wouldn't restrict himself with a vulgar view of good and evil. If he still had to be restrained with his background and talent, he might as well go to the little western paradise and become a monk. He would shout, "Almighty Heavenly Dragon," every day with those monks. Jun Xiaoyao's doctrine was that those who followed him would prosper, and those who opposed him would perish. "Let's go. I'd like to see what Ji Xian can do," Jun Xiaoyao said with a smile. Hearing his laughter, Jun Huang and the others mourned for Ji Xian in their hearts, while Jun Xiaoyao and the others went to the deepest part of the treasure to find Ji Xian. In the sky above the great wild forest outside the secret treasure of Yuan Tian, the elders of the imperishable forces were still sitting cross-legged in the sky. The elder of the Jiang family shook his head and said, "I didn't expect that the gray fog in the secret treasure of Yuan Tian and the special field would block the detection of the sky mirror. We underestimated the secret treasure of Yuan Tian, but I don't think it's necessary to use the sky mirror," Jun Jiantian said. The successors of the imperishable forces who entered the secret treasure all had protective treasures or teleportation talismans. So, they wouldn't be in danger even without the protection of the guardians. Haha, Jun Jiantian, are you worried about the son of God of the Jun family? If he dies in the secret treasure, it will be an irreparable loss for the Jun family. The elder of the Tsang Dragon branch in Zulong said with a fake smile, "Don't worry. Even if you die, my grandson will still live well." Jun Jiantian snorted coldly. He believed that a treasure of this level would not be able to threaten Jun Xiaoyao's life. In the worst-case scenario, he still had the guardian talisman bestowed upon him by the 18th ancestor. His life was not in danger. I only hope that your son of God won't be taught a lesson by our dragon lady." The elder of the blue dragon bloodline chuckled mockingly. He had full confidence in Long Bichi. After all, she was a dragon girl who had completely refined 2 dragon essences. Her strength was far from what Long Haoyan could compare to. However, just as the Azure Dragon lineage's elder finished laughing, a figure flashed out of the Yuantian treasury in a sorry state. That figure's cyan armor was covered in cracks. His hair was disheveled, and he coughed up blood. He was in a sorry state. Who else could it be but Long Bichi? At this moment, there was still fear in Long Bichi's eyes. Her delicate body trembled as she felt cold. She was truly afraid of Jun Xiaoyao. If she had been a few steps slower, the result might have been different. She might not even have been able to survive. Hey, that's the dragon lady of the blue dragon bloodline from Zulong. Why did she come out so quickly? Yeah, and she's in such a sorry state. Did she encounter something extremely ferocious? Or did the corpse of that supreme being come back to life? At this moment, tens of thousands of people had gathered outside the Yuantian treasury. Due to their age and seniority, they were not allowed to enter, so they could only watch the show. Many people were surprised to see Long Bichi run out in such a sorry state. They thought that she had encountered something ferocious. In the void, the elder of the blue dragon bloodline's mocking smile froze. His expression became unnatural. How did his dragon lady escape so quickly? And she was in such a sorry state. It was obvious that she had been driven out. Haha, Greenskin Loach, keep laughing. Why aren't you continuing? Jun Jiantian laughed heartily. The elder of the blue dragon bloodline was livid. Without saying a word, he flashed to Long Bichi's side. "Bichi, what's going on? Where are the dragon bones?" The elder asked anxiously. Everything else didn't matter. The dragon bones were their true goal. They're gone. 4 sets of ancient dragon bones and a supreme ancestor dragon bone are all gone. Long Bichi bit her lips hard. Her face was pale. What? There's still a supreme ancestor dragon bone? The elder of the blue dragon bloodline almost fainted. Those were the supreme ancestor dragon bones. There were only a few of them in the entire Zulong, but they were gone just like that. Who took them? Who took them? The elder of the blue dragon bloodline said coldly. He could not keep his composure. Jun Xiaoyao, Long Bichi said, trembling slightly. It seemed that mentioning this name would make her instinctively afraid. Although Xiao Chun and the others were there, Long Beachy knew that they were just playthings in Jun Xiaoyao's hands. What? It's him? The elder of the Blue Dragon bloodline froze. Just now, he said that he hoped Jun Xiaoyao would not be taught a lesson by Long Beachy. But now, Long Beachy was the one who had been taught a lesson. The slap in the face was too fast. There was no time for them to recover. She was driven out by the son of God of the Jun family. No wonder, yes. Long Haoyin was killed by the son of God of the Jun family. Long Beachy was lucky to escape. Many cultivators around heard Long Beachy's words. Although they were surprised, they weren't surprised. It seemed that the son of God of the Jun family was the symbol of invincibility among the younger generation. What do you think, Greenskin Loach? Do you admit defeat? Jun Zhantian said proudly. His precious grandson had really made him proud. The elder of the Blue Dragon bloodline was so angry that he could not speak. He knew that it would be harder to take the dragon bone back from the Jun family than to reach the sky. I'm sorry to disappoint you, elder. Long Beachy's face was ashen. She was no longer as brave and spirited as before. She was too embarrassed to tell him that she had been knocked out by him with a single move before she could even fight him, scaring her out of the place. It would be a disgrace to Zulong if people knew about it. In the sky, Ji Bangyin, the elder of the Ji family, shook his head and said, "It seems that the dragon girl of the Blue Dragon bloodline is just so. Ji Bangyin, you'd better pray that the one from the Ji family doesn't get into a conflict with my grandson. Otherwise, TSK. Jun Zhantian shook his head. Jun Zhantian, do you think that dragon girl is comparable to Ji Xian? He came here prepared. If there's a conflict, the son of God of the Jun family should be worried." Ji Bangyin smiled. He was very calm and composed. That kind of confidence seemed to have come from his bones. Oh, even Jun Zhantian looked at Ji Bangyin suspiciously. Could it be that the young saint of the Ji family could really do something this time? While the outside world was discussing Long Beachy's death, Long Beachy's death was in full swing. Ji Xian, who was wearing a luxurious robe and holding an ancient talisman, finally arrived at the deepest part of the secret treasure of Yuantian. As far as the eye could see, a simple and grand pitch-black divine pagoda that was suffused with an ancient aura stood towering there like a pillar that supported the heavens. The last great opportunity is here. Ji Xian's eyes were filled with joy. After planning for so long, he could finally get his hands on the great opportunity. However, at this moment, a cold and playful voice came from behind him. "Ji Xian, thank you for leading the way. Treasure Hunting Mouse, the full book." Chapter 69. The joy on Ji Xian's face disappeared when he heard the voice. However, he did not panic. Instead, he turned around calmly. He saw Jun Xiaoyao and the others right away. Jun Xiaoyao put his hands behind his back, looking calm and collected. However, there was coldness in his deep eyes. Ji Xian's actions had put him on the opposite side of Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao would never be nice to his enemies. However, what surprised Jun Xiaoyao was that Ji Xian did not seem to be surprised or afraid when he saw him. Instead, he looked calm and composed, as if he had a card up his sleeve. The gap between Ji Xian and Xiao Chun was obvious. Although Xiao Chun was a man of great fortune, his background was limited. Although the ancient kingdom of Dragon was a first-class orthodoxy, it was obviously not comparable to the immortal orthodoxy. Ji Xian was born in a clan of the ancients. He was better than Xiao Chun in terms of temperament and outlook. That piqued Jun Xiaoyao's interest. At least it would not be too boring. "Ji Xian, you don't seem too surprised to see the son of God here," Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. "Jun Xiaoyao, I didn't want to be your enemy, but you've gone too far. Do you really think I'm a treasure-hunting mouse?" Ji Xian's eyes were sharp. "What else can I do? That's all you're worth, isn't it?" Jun Xiaoyao replied calmly. "You." The corner of Ji Xian's eyes twitched. As the saint of the Ji family, he had never been bullied like this. Jun Zhanjian and the others were already used to it. Despite Jun Xiaoyao's usual white robe and otherworldly appearance, he was not one to be trifled with. However, when it came to talking, he could make people die on the spot. That Xiao Chun was a tragic victim of verbal abuse. "Heh, It seems that the son of God of the Jun family wants to bully the weak with numbers. Ji Xian's eyes flickered as he looked around. There was only one person on his side, while Jun Xiaoyao had 5 people on his side. There was simply no need to fight this kind of battle. Ji Xian, I know what you're planning. You want this son of God to fight you one-on-one. Although I don't mind using numbers to bully others, there is truly no need for me to do that to you. Jun Xiaoyao said. He saw through Ji Xian's plan at a glance. It is rumored that the son of God of the Jun family is extremely conceited and arrogant. It seems that it is true. How would I know if I don't try? Ji Xian's eyes shone with a sharp light. In fact, he had always wanted to fight with Jun Xiaoyao. As top prodigies who would admit defeat before a real fight. At the very least, Ji Xian wasn't convinced. Therefore, he also wanted to use this opportunity to fight with Jun Xiaoyao. Ignorant. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were cold as the boundless golden spirit sea in his dantian surged. Boundless golden dermic power and divine power surged like an ocean. That aura shook one's heart and soul. Jun Xiaoyao directly raised his hand and reached out without using any martial arts. Just this palm alone was like a great divine power that could smash any celestial bridge realm prodigy into a meat patty. Feeling this vast power, Ji Xian's expression was no longer calm and became extremely solemn. When Jun Xiaoyao was still, he was like an immortal who had descended to the mortal world. But when he moved, he was like a divine king descending to the mortal world. His aura was so terrifying that it made one tremble. Ji Xian also made his move, reaching out his right arm that had fused with the Saint King's handbone. The Saint King was an existence that surpassed the saints. It was considered the top of the saint stage. Such a piece of the Saint King's handbone was priceless and powerful. At Ji Xian's cultivation level, it was simply a cheat-like existence. It was like a divine artifact that was picked up by a player in the novice village and fused together. What was created would be an extremely powerful heaven's pride. However, when the two's palm prints and fist auras collided, ripples of dermic powers burst forth. The one who was pushed back was actually Ji Xian. Ji Xian staggered back dozens of steps. Qi and blood surged in his chest, and a fishy taste surged up his throat, but he swallowed it down. His eyes were filled with unprecedented shock and astonishment. What was going on? His right arm that had fused with the Saint King's hand bone collided with Jun Xiaoyao. Why was he the one who was injured? Ji Xian's eyes were filled with astonishment and confusion. On the opposite side, Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows slightly and said with a hint of surprise, "Indeed, as expected of the Saint King's hand bone, you only suffered minor injuries after taking my palm." Jun Xiaoyao was used to suppressing others with his strength. Whenever he faced an enemy, he would first give them a slap. 80% of the enemies could not withstand his slap. Only the remaining 20% of the enemies were worthy of him using other methods. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not expect that Ji Xian would only suffer minor injuries after taking his palm head-on. It could be said that he lived up to the name of the Saint King's handbone. When Ji Xian heard this, he doubted himself even more. Shouldn't he be the one who sent Jun Xiaoyao flying? Now that he was slightly injured, Jun Xiaoyao actually thought that he was not bad. How is this not bad? Unfortunately, the Saint King's hand bone is an external object. It's not yours. It's not yours in the end. As Jun Xiaoyao spoke, he formed the Man King seal with his hand and blasted it out. With Ji Xian's strength, it was impossible for him to fully activate the power of the Saint King's hand bone. Moreover, this was not his bone. After all, it was still somewhat imperfect. As for Jun Xiaoyao's own supreme bone, it was obtained from signing in by the system. It had perfectly fused with his body, so it would not have such flaws. Jun Xiaoyao, stop pointing at the world. How would you know the power of the Saint King's hand bone? Ji Xian was a little embarrassed and angry, as if he had been insulted. He punched out again, and the Saint King's hand bone burst out with divine light. Runes flowed on the arm bone, showing its powerful power. His fist light was shocking as it tore through the void, carrying with it the aura of the king. It was one of the Ji family's fist techniques, the fist of the king. Jun Xiaoyao formed the Man King's seal, and a vast and majestic emperor figure appeared. It was as if heaven and earth were trembling under his majesty. As the seal blasted out, divine light burst out, and magical power surged. The two fist seals collided, and divine power surged. This time, Jun Xiaoyao activated the power of the divine elephant overpowering force. The giant elephant particles were instilled with divine power, making this seal seem as if it had the power to destroy heaven and earth. Boom! A deafening sound echoed in all directions. The entire Yuan-Tian secret treasure was rumbling and trembling. In the midst of such an extreme collision, a figure was once again sent flying. It was Ji Xian. This time, he finally couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood, and his face instantly turned pale. He blocked Jun Xiaoyao's first move, but he couldn't block his second move. How is this possible? Ji Xian's left hand clutched his trembling right arm so tightly that his finger bones were about to crack. His entire arm was trembling. As expected of the son of God, Jun Zhangjian, Jun Shuahuang, and the others all had looks of reverence in their eyes. Although they knew that Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't lose, they didn't expect it to be so overwhelming. After all, Ji Xian, the little saint, was quite capable. Now, do you know how stupid it is to challenge the Son of God? Jun Xiaoyao said with his hands behind his back. Ji Xian was speechless. He never expected Jun Xiaoyao's sacred body of the ancients to be so strong. Ji Xian's eyes flickered as he thought of this. He wasn't willing to lose just like that. Ji Xian quietly flipped his wrist and held a piece of dark metal in his hand. In an instant, a will of reincarnation quietly spread out. Jun Xiaoyao, take this. The full book. Chapter 70. Ji Xian punched again, but this time, it was different from before. This punch seemed to carry the will of reincarnation, which was much stronger than the previous fist of the Way of the Monarch. Even Jun Shuahuang, Jun Zhangjian, and the others felt extreme danger from this punch. Son of God, be careful. They couldn't help but remind him. Xiaoyao, be careful. Jiang Xingyi also reminded him. Jun Xiaoyao's expression didn't change. He looked at Ji Xian's punch with a hint of surprise in his eyes. This was because he felt that when Ji Xian's punch was released, the bone of supremacy in his chest seemed to tremble slightly. What's going on? Could it be that the thing in Ji Xian's hand has something to do with my bone of supremacy? Jun Xiaoyao murmured to himself. His bone of supremacy had now awakened the light of tribulation and the complete version of the hand of heaven. However, the power of the bone of supremacy was definitely more than that. It had even greater potential to be unearthed. But now, after feeling the life and death reincarnation fist intent, his supreme being bone actually reacted. Interesting. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed, and he clenched his fist. The 70,000 granules of the giant elephant completely exploded. Golden magical power surged and condensed into a primordial divine elephant that could suppress the universe. He once again activated Zulong's superpower, the Dragon Fist. The dragon aura in his body wrapped around his arm, as if it had turned into the shape of a green dragon. It was the dragon aura that he had taken from Shao Chun. A dragon and an elephant, double support. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao seemed to have a vast divine power that could shatter heaven and earth. Jun Xiaoyao pushed out his fist and palm. The dragon and elephant followed, and the energy waves were terrifying. The air in front of him seemed to be pushed away by this vast power, forming a vacuum field. This punch was shocking. Life-ending fist. Seeing this, Ji Xian let out a long roar and also released his strongest power. His magical power and divine power poured into the bone of the sage. The surrounding void was branded with runes, and a burst of Saint Realm aura came out. At the same time, the metal he held his fist made his life extermination fist carry the power of the cycle of life and death. It could be said that any heaven's favorite would feel hopeless when faced with these two's moves. There was no way they could fight back. Bang! It was as if Mars had collided with Earth. Their fists collided, and violent waves of mana spread out, flattening the surrounding earth. Thick cracks spread out. In this kind of extreme collision, Ji Xian's figure flew out, blood spurting from his mouth. His wrist bones were shattered, and his entire arm was slightly twisted. His skin and blood vessels couldn't withstand the divine power and directly cracked. As for the dark piece of metal in his hand, he couldn't hold on any longer and was thrown away. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand and caught the metal in his hand. Jun Xiaoyao, give it back to me. Ji Xian's figure smashed through several dilapidated palaces before stopping. He couldn't stop coughing out blood, and his expression was filled with shock and anger. Ji Xian definitely didn't expect that even if he attacked with all his might, he wouldn't be able to defeat Jun Xiaoyao. He even lost that important thing. Jun Xiaoyao ignored Ji Xian and played with the piece of metal in his hand. This time, the bone of supremacy in his chest transmitted a clear desire. Could this metal be the reincarnation Tao Gold? Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows and said, he came from a clan of the ancients, so his vision was extraordinary. He had seen all kinds of rare treasures. The reincarnation Tao Gold was a divine metal, and it could be used to forge weapons of great emperors. It was very rare. This piece of reincarnation Tao Gold, which was the size of a fingernail, was enough to make a group of sages fight over it. However, it was a pity that this small piece of reincarnation Tao Gold had already lost its essence, leaving only a little bit of reincarnation intent. Ji Xian used this reincarnation intent to make his life extermination fist stronger. However, in front of Jun Xiaoyao, he could only lose. Ji Xian, you actually have this kind of thing, Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. Get it back to me. Ji Xian's face turned ugly. At this time, Jiang Xingyi said, I heard that there's a reincarnation Holy Spirit left behind from ancient times in the Holy Spirit College. Could this small piece of reincarnation Tao Gold be the residue that fell off from it? I see. Jun Xiaoyao suddenly understood. Ji Xian had another identity, and he was the holy son of the Holy Spirit College. It wasn't impossible for him to get this small piece of reincarnation Tao Gold. If that's the case, I can't avoid going to the Holy Spirit College in the future. It might be related to the transformation of my bone of supremacy, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. He looked at Ji Xian and said calmly, this son of God thought it was something special. It's just a residue. How can it be a treasure? After saying that, Jun Xiaoyao crushed it into powder with one hand. The reincarnation Tao Gold, which had lost its essence, could be crushed easily. Ji Xian's face turned red because of anger. He had never experienced this kind of humiliation. However, while Ji Xian was angry, a sense of powerlessness spread in his heart. Previously, he was still hoping for a fluke. He thought that even if he couldn't defeat Jun Xiaoyao, he could at least put up a fight. However, the cruel reality told him that there was still a huge gap between him and Jun Xiaoyao. What little sage? He was nothing in front of the son of God of the Jun family. No, I haven't lost yet. The whole secret treasure is still under my control. If I can get that treasure, it's not impossible for me to surpass Jun Xiaoyao in the future. Thinking of this, Ji Xian once again regrouped and became spirited. He took out the ancient talisman and injected his magic power into it. After a short while, with the pitch-black divine tower as the center, runes spread out from the ground. The whole secret treasure was covered by countless runes that looked like star orbits. At the same time, the ground shook and hundreds of demonic corpses broke out of the ground. They didn't target Ji Xian, who had the ancient talisman. Instead, they rushed directly toward Jun Xiaoyao and the others. Ordinary geniuses would be scared out of their wits if they saw this scene. However, Jun Xiaoyao looked calm. Is this why you're so confident? Jun Xiaoyao didn't take it seriously. Humph, Jun Xiaoyao, accept this gift. The next time we meet, I might be the one to crush you. Ji Xian's figure flashed and directly entered the pitch-black giant tower. Ridiculous. Jun Xiaoyao sneered and raised his hand. His magic power surged, and a shocking sword essence spread out from Jun Xiaoyao's body. A bright and dazzling sword radiance appeared in the sky, as if it had manifested the shadow of an immortal. The sharp sword radiance seemed to be able to tear the space apart. With a sweep of the sword, a deep gully was plowed in front of him. Hundreds of demonic corpses were killed in an instant. They might have been very powerful when they were alive, but after death, their magic power was lost and they were eroded by the gray fog. Their strength decreased a lot. Even so, these demonic corpses could still threaten the lives of geniuses in the Celestial Bridge realm or even the Consolidation realm. However, Jun Xiaoyao annihilated hundreds of demonic corpses with a wave of his hand. Ji Xian, who had entered the pitch-black divine tower, saw this scene and cold sweat ran down his back. When Jun Xiaoyao fought with him, he didn't even use the Immortal Slayer's sword art. How can the leaks I want to harvest escape from my hands? Jun Xiaoyao extended the demon wings behind his back. His speed skyrocketed, and he rushed toward the pitch-black divine tower. Seeing this, Ji Xian hurriedly used the Ji family's great movement technique, the Void Step. His figure flashed through the void and rushed to the top of the tower. The winner takes all. This was the final game, the full book. Chapter 71. Inside the pitch-black divine tower, thick gray fog was rolling. Here, the gray fog seemed to have turned into black fog. It was incomparably dense. Ji Xian's figure rushed forward. He used the Saint King's hand bone to protect himself from the black fog. Behind him, Jun Xiaoyao also entered the divine tower. As for the rest of Jiang Xingyi and the others, they were outside dealing with the remaining demon corpses. In just a short while, Ji Xian had already rushed to the top of the tower. At the top of the tower, there was a pitch-black coffin bound by hundreds of golden chains. The coffin exuded the aura of a supreme being. The source of the aura of the secret treasure of Yuan Tian came from this pitch-black coffin. I finally found it. It's the same as what was recorded in the ancient books. Ji Xian took a deep breath. While he was excited, he was also nervous. If the records were correct, the treasure should be in this coffin. However, what made Ji Xian hesitate was the source of the gray fog also came from this coffin. Even a fool would understand that some kind of change must have occurred in this coffin. If it was opened, it would be a disaster. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao's figure also appeared. He was dressed in white and looked otherworldly. He did not fit in with the environment here. When Jun Xiaoyao's gaze fell on the coffin that exuded the aura of a supreme being, he raised his eyebrows in surprise. The corpse of Yuan Tian Supreme should be in there. But why is it bound by golden chains? Jun Xiaoyao was puzzled. The golden chains seemed to be a type of seal. Connecting it with the ominous gray fog, Jun Xiaoyao had a rough guess in his heart. He looked at Ji Xian again with a cold and indifferent expression. Do you think you can resist in front of the Son of God? Jun Xiaoyao said. Jun Xiaoyao, I came here fully prepared. Do you really think you can control everything? After Ji Xian said that, he directly used his magic power to activate the ancient talisman in his hand. In an instant, the ancient talisman burst out a rain of light, and runes emerged. The hundreds of golden chains wrapped around the coffin made rattling noises. The entire coffin began to rumble. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, stood where he was without the slightest intention of intervening. This greatly surprised Ji Xian. He couldn't help but ask, Jun Xiaoyao, aren't you going to stop me? Jun Xiaoyao's actions confused him. Stop? Why should I stop you? You must have some sort of purpose for coming to the Yuan Tian secret treasury. Perhaps you are looking for a great opportunity. As for that opportunity, if this son of God's guess is correct, it should be in that coffin. Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. Ji Xian's expression froze as he looked at Jun Xiaoyao with a deep fear in his eyes. A prodigy who only had martial strength was not worth fearing. However, if one had both martial strength and shrewdness at the same time, then it would be extremely terrifying. There was no doubt that Jun Xiaoyao was such a person. Jun Xiaoyao had completely guessed Ji Xian's thoughts. So you want to watch me snatch the opportunity? Ji Xian snorted coldly. This son of God doesn't like to do things personally. If you do it, I'll just snatch it. Isn't that better? Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. Hearing this, Ji Xian's face turned purple. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't beat Jun Xiaoyao, he would have punched him a long time ago. I have the ancient talisman to protect me. When the time comes, the one who will be miserable will be you. Ji Xian thought coldly. At this moment, the hundreds of golden chains were finally broken apart. In an instant, the lid of the coffin was directly blasted open, and a terrifying black mist surged out like smoke. At the same time, an extreme, murderous aura and the pressure of a supreme being erupted. Even Ji Xian, who knew some of the details, felt his heart skip a beat and was extremely nervous. On the other hand, Jun Xiaoyao was still calm, but his brows were slightly furrowed. A towering figure emerged from the black mist. The figure was dressed in an ancient golden robe, with a square face and a monstrous, murderous aura. Its pair of empty eyes overflowed with a bloody light. Its entire body was covered with long black hair, no different from the demon corpses outside. "This is Yuan Tian Supreme," Jun Xiaoyao murmured. "How could a dignified, utmost exalted expert fall to such a state?" Roar. The supreme demon corpse let out a monster-like roar. Its voice seemed to turn into a sound wave, and the entire top of the pitch-black divine pagoda was overturned. Ji Xian's legs trembled, and he almost collapsed to the ground. The pressure was too strong. An ordinary cultivator at the celestial bridge realm would probably have their heart broken by this pressure. A supreme being was a supreme being. Even if it had been dead for so many years and only a skeleton was left, it was still terrifying. Jun Xiaoyao's expression didn't change. Compared to Ji Xian's terrified appearance, it was like the difference between heaven and earth. It's just a supreme demon corpse that has been dead for who knows how long. Jun Xiaoyao said. If it was a true supreme being, no matter how powerful Jun Xiaoyao was, he wouldn't be able to resist at all. However, the supreme demon corpse of Yuan Tian had lost all its power after death, and it didn't have any magical abilities. In addition, its body had been corroded by the black mist, and its physical strength had been weakened to the extreme. The supreme demon corpse now had at most 1/10,000th of the strength of supreme Yuan Tian. However, even if it was only 1/10,000th, it was definitely not something a celestial bridge realm or consolidation realm cultivator could contend with. Roar! The supreme demon corpse roared. Its blood-red eyes first locked onto Ji Xian, who was slightly closer. Ji Xian hurriedly held the ancient talisman in his hand. There seemed to be a faint fluctuation in the supreme demon corpse's blood-red eyes. Then, it locked its gaze onto Jun Xiaoyao. Boom! The supreme demon corpse attacked without any sense of reason. Its two hands attacked, and the space trembled. Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows. He wanted to see how strong the supreme demon corpse, which only had 1/10,000th of its peak strength, was. Jun Xiaoyao activated the strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant, and the shadow of the ancient divine elephant appeared above him. It was like a golden ancient mountain suppressing the universe. 700 million pounds of divine power burst out from within his body. Not only that, Jun Xiaoyao finally activated the power of the sacred body of the ancients this time. In an instant, golden qi and blood surged. The qi and blood of the sacred body of the ancients had the effect of suppressing and weakening evil things. The supreme demon corpse's power was weakened by more than 30% by the qi and blood of the sacred body of the ancients. Jun Xiaoyao activated the dragon energy, and a green light surged under his skin, spreading out the dragon scale inner armor. The defensive technique of the strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant was activated, and the underworld protection was also formed. Jun Xiaoyao formed the seal of the human ruler with his left hand and used the dragon fist with his right. It could be said that Jun Xiaoyao had reached the pinnacle in terms of offense, defense, and all other aspects. He rarely used his full strength like this. The terrifying fluctuations were also detected by Jiang Shengyi, Jun Xuehuang, and the others outside the divine tower. Jiang Shengyi's expression suddenly changed. That's the aura of a supreme demon corpse. It's a supreme demon corpse. That was the supreme demon corpse, which was not something that the geniuses of the younger generation could contend with. Even some of the older experts in the reaching heaven realm and the divine fire realm would not be able to resist it. Son of God, Jun Xiaohuang and Jun Zhangjin's expressions changed drastically. They never thought that Jun Xiaoyao would be able to contend with the supreme demon corpse. In their minds, this was something that was almost impossible. Is Jun Xiaoyao really crazy? Is he delusional enough to think that he can contend with the supreme demon corpse? Ji Xian was extremely shocked, and then the corner of his mouth curled into a sneer. He had always been defeated by Jun Xiaoyao. Now, he could finally see Jun Xiaoyao's miserable state. Boom! Under the watchful eyes of Ji Xian, Jiang Shengyi, Jun Xiaohuang, and the others, Jun Xiaoyao, who was going all out, collided with the supreme demon corpse with a loud bang. For a moment, the space shook, and the sky fell, and the earth cracked. The golden divine light of the sacred body of the ancients and the monstrous murderous aura of the supreme demon corpse spread out at the same time. The whole book. Chapter 72. This kind of collision was like the collision of planets, and the energy waves were extremely terrifying. The entire secret treasure seemed to be swept by the waves of air. Jiang Shengyi and the others' minds buzzed, and their faces instantly turned pale. That was a supreme stage demonic corpse. Even if the demonic corpse's current strength was less than 1/10,000th of its peak, it was still not something that a celestial bridge realm cultivator could contend with. Xiaoyao. Jiang Shengyi's face turned pale. She couldn't imagine how she would face Jiang Ro if something really happened to Jun Xiaoyao. She had promised to take care of Jun Xiaoyao in the secret treasure, but now she could only watch. Jun Zhangjin, Jun Xiaohuang, and the others were also shocked. On the other side, Ji Xian rushed toward the coffin while looking back at Jun Xiaoyao. He didn't believe that Jun Xiaoyao could still be unharmed. The violent explosion gradually stopped. In a cloud of dust, two figures retreated at the same time. Jun Xiaoyao's figure appeared. He was still wearing his spotless white robe, and his handsome face was still as calm as water. However, his brows were slightly furrowed, and there was a hint of seriousness in his expression. Inside his chest, his blood was boiling, and his arms were a little numb. On the opposite side, the supreme stage demonic corpse also appeared. Its body was also unharmed. After all, it was a supreme stage cultivator when it was alive. Even if its body was corroded and weakened countless times, it couldn't be damaged so easily. When she saw Jun Xiaoyao appear unharmed, Jiang Shengyi's breathing seemed to stop. Then, extreme joy flowed out of her sparkling eyes. That's great. Jiang Shengyi moved lightly and flashed away. Lord Son of God is fine. Jun Zhangjin, Jun Xiaohuang, and Jun Wanjie were also surprised. At the same time, their eyes were filled with intense fanaticism and worship. Their Son of God, with his cultivation at the Celestial Bridge Realm, was able to contend with the demon corpse of Zun Stage. Not to mention death, he didn't even suffer any light injuries. If news of this got out, the entire immortal domain would be shaken up, everyone going crazy. Throughout the history of the Celestial Realm, who in the Celestial Bridge Realm could contend against a supreme martial artist, even if it was just a corpse? There was none at all. This is F***king ridiculous. Even Ji Xian, who had a calm and reserved temperament, was stunned at this moment. He couldn't help but burst out with a curse that he had never said before. This was too outrageous. Was Jun Xiaoyao still human? How could a Celestial Bridge Realm cultivator resist the demonic corpse without being injured? No one would believe it, not even a ghost. At this moment, Ji Xian completely suspected that Jun Xiaoyao was the reincarnation of an ancient great emperor. Otherwise, how could he be so strong? Monster. This Jun Xiaoyao is a F***king monster. Ji Xian was about to go crazy. He couldn't keep calm anymore and cursed in his heart. With such a monster around, how could other geniuses compete with him in this era? Who could compete with Jun Xiaoyao? Even the peerless genius of the Ji family, who had become the saintess of the human immortal sect, wouldn't be enough. Forget it. Let's go find the treasure first. That demonic corpse can hold Jun Xiaoyao back. Ji Xian thought to himself. Ji Xian thought to himself, completely losing any thoughts of competing with Jun Xiaoyao. Now, He only wanted to find the great opportunity in the coffin and leave immediately. After obtaining the opportunity, he might even be able to fight with Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao naturally noticed Ji Xian's actions. He turned his head and said, Zhang Jian, Shui Feng, Wan Jia, go and deal with Ji Xian. Don't let him get the treasure and leave. Son of God, what about you? Jun Xuehuang asked. They still wanted to help Jun Xiaoyao deal with the demonic corpse. I'm enough here, Jun Xiaoyao said. I'll help you. Jiang Xingyi stood firmly beside Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao was slightly stunned and said, That's the demonic corpse. It's too dangerous. You're my nephew. If I don't help you, who will I help? If I watch you get hurt, Sister Jiang Ro will scold me. Jiang Xingyi pursed her lips and smiled. Her smile was moving. She couldn't let Jun Xiaoyao face the demonic corpse alone. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly and didn't say anything. Now wasn't the time to be touched. Naturally, he would remember this favor. Roar! The demonic corpse rushed over again with a monstrous, murderous aura. The aura alone was enough to make the divine palace in the mind of a celestial bridge realm genius explode. This demonic corpse is difficult to deal with, Jun Xiaoyao said with a frown. Hearing this, Jiang Xingyi was a little speechless. Was this something a human would say? The demonic corpse was almost invincible to other geniuses, but in Jun Xiaoyao's words, it was only difficult to deal with. Jun Xiaoyao raised one hand, and the dragon chi burst out as if it was condensing into a lifelike true dragon. It was Zulong's Abijna, the true dragon sky imprisonment technique. With his other hand, he performed the combatant formula. In the void, thousands of golden divine weapons turned into sabers, spears, swords, halberds, and other weapons, forming a shocking torrent. Jun Xiaoyao performed two powerful moves at the same time and collided with the demonic corpse again. The demonic corpse didn't have any Abijna. It was just fighting with Jun Xiaoyao with its decaying body. This also made Jun Xiaoyao more aware of the supreme power of a supreme being. One had to know that the demonic corpse of Yuan Tian only had 1/10,000th of its strength when it was alive. From this, one could infer how powerful a real supreme being was. However, Jun Xiaoyao believed that with its talent, it would only be a matter of time before it became a supreme being. Boom! The huge wave spread again, and Jun Xiaoyao and the demonic corpse of Yuan Tian retreated at the same time. Jun Xiaoyao's arms were a little numb, and the blood in his chest was tumbling. This is the first time I've experienced this kind of feeling. Jun Xiaoyao was not discouraged. Instead, he found it novel. Unfortunately, the demonic corpse of Yuan Tian could only make his blood boil, but it couldn't really make him vomit blood. Jun Xiaoyao had never really been hurt since he was born. Seeing this, Jiang Xingyi also helped Jun Xiaoyao from the side. On the divine tower, Ji Xian found a simple wooden box in the coffin. The box looked very ordinary. However, there was only one box in the entire coffin. This is it. Ji Xian's eyes were burning. At this moment, a bolt of lightning suddenly pierced through. Ji Xian's body turned sideways, and his face became serious. How dare you touch something that Master wants? Jun Wanjie and the other two rushed over. Damn it, why aren't you helping Jun Xiaoyao? Do you want him to die in the hands of the demonic corpse of Yuan Tian? Ji Xian's face darkened. We believe in Master's strength. It's impossible for you to take this away. Jun Wanjie's tone was cold. At this moment, some of the demonic corpses that had not been cleared away came up the divine tower. Since Ji Xian had the ancient talisman, they shifted their target to Jun Wanjie and the other two. Zhang Jian, Shui Huang, you two deal with those demonic corpses. I'll deal with Ji Xian. Jun Wanjie said. Okay. Jun Zhangjian and Shui Huang nodded. Next, the battle between the various parties began. Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang dealt with the demonic corpses, while Jun Wanjie faced Ji Xian, preventing him from taking the wooden box and leaving. However, the most important battle was still between Jun Xiaoyao and the demonic corpse of Yuan Tian. If Jun Xiaoyao was defeated, Jun Wanjie and the others would naturally have to assist him, and Ji Xian would be able to take the wooden box away. However, in Ji Xian's eyes, It was already a miracle that Jun Xiaoyao could contend against the demonic corpse of Yuan Tian. If someone told him that Jun Xiaoyao could defeat the demonic corpse of Yuan Tian, Ji Xian would never believe it. Jun Wanjia, don't waste your time. I just need to delay until Jun Xiaoyao is defeated by the demonic corpse of Yuan Tian. Then, I can take the opportunity to take the wooden box, Ji Xian said, appearing to be very confident. This was an open conspiracy, so he was not afraid to say it out loud. Master's ability is not something you can fathom, Jun Wanjia said coldly. He was extremely confident in Jun Xiaoyao. If Jun Xiaoyao is so strong that he can defeat the demonic corpse of Yuan Tian, then I, Ji Xian, will stand upside down and pee. Ji Xian sneered. His words were filled with sarcasm. You'll regret it, Jun Wanjia said with a deep gaze. The whole book.